Hello! We did it! We're here! Can you guys still see? Okay, cool. You can see the thing. Hello everybody, and welcome to Masks Part 2. Well, not technically Part 2, Issue 2. Part 1 of Issue 2. We have our wonderful players returning for the technical third, but second time. You know what I mean. Let me real quick, because Sin gave... Oh, I need to turn my alert sounds off. Sorry. While I'm doing that, I'm gonna have our players introduce themselves, tell you a little bit about them, where you can find them, and also a little bit about their characters. So we'll start down with Batguin, and then we'll go WarwickZero and come back to me. Take it away, Batguin.
Whoops, that was muted. Sorry.
I was like, I can't tell if your mouth is moving or if we're just...
It's a really big pop filter. Yes, I'm TheBatguin. I stream on Twitch at TheBatguin, and so you can catch me there. You can also catch me at Warwick's channel sometimes, and Tough's channel most times, and always, constantly, doesn't matter time or day. I'm always on Hatter's channel, constantly.
As you should be.
And then you are playing Night Fox.
I am playing as the Night Fox. The part gets dropped a lot. It's like the on the Batguin. Tons of times. Nobody uses the. And she is a fantastic leader of Group 4.
And she is the Janus. Or yeah. Janus, whatever. Same thing.
Janus?
I don't know.
The way I've heard the British people call it is not the way I'm going to call it.
Yeah, I'd rather we didn't call it the Janus. Just personal preference. All right, Warwick.
After roasting the British, hi everyone. My name is WarwickZero. I go by Warwick or Warwick or many names that I seem to have. I think most of them are good that I know of. And yeah, I do the Twitch. I do the streaming. Yeah, around this sort of time. Mondays, Thursdays or Fridays and Saturdays, and we do a lot of different stuff. And tonight we are playing 13. I am a time traveler. And I'm really cool. That's it. Nothing else. I'm really cool. I know what I'm doing. I don't make mistakes. I am level-headed. I am everyone's favorite, and everything is fine.
Definitely didn't run into the door and fall down the stairs.
Definitely did not run through the door and fall down the stairs. No. But no, I've gone back in time to try to avert some things that brings sort of the world into a bad place, and the group that we're with now is that key. And yeah, and in the last episode, obviously we'll recap, there'll be some other things that may have found out from my character, which is a bit interesting, let's put it that way. And which I also forgot about till about 10 minutes before, and I'm like, oh yeah, that happened.
Right, that plot twist.
Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, that's me.
All right, our most famous streamer friend Hatter.
Whoop, whoop.
No, I do not stream. Do not try to go to my stream channel. There is nothing. You will be sorely disappointed. I lurk on other people's streams and I make them better. See, that is my true superpower. I am NoHatHatter. I have no real socials. Like, I am on social, but I don't talk to people on social. So yeah, you can find me on Discord though. I like hanging out there. I play cleric. I am a doomed. I'm fighting my nemesis Greg, and we learned a lot about Greg in the last issue. I'm looking forward to more fights against Greg in this issue. I'm also doing horrible as far as rolls and stuff, so I'm actually going really well with doom signs and advancements. So, yay!
Yippee. All right, Sin.
Hi, I'm Sin or Potato9_juice on Twitch. I haven't streamed in a bit, but I do stream, maybe.
Yeah, you
I
stream.
play Shadow or Salem, who is the delinquent. Last episode, we faced our father and went against the team. That was fun. So yeah.
Yep. And I am 98 Tough Love. I am your host today. I am your game master, the one in charge, the one that sets out the path that you guys are kind of going on. I am also super professional. Remember to turn on all of my timers so that we know who all the streamers are. Okay, now masks will work. I forgot to turn that on. I'm
Oh,
so
did you turn it
ready.
off? Oh, cool.
Well, yeah, it's on now. And then you
Well, I
spelled it
can't
wrong.
spell anyway, so...
Mutually assured
Max.
destruction over here. And yeah, I kind of took a bit of a longer break from streaming than I intended to. End of year was a little bit draining, but I'm back now and I'm feeling much more energetic and happy. So I'm very much looking forward to keeping up on schedules. I do masks here, but I also play masks over on the C Plus content channel. So if you guys like masks and like seeing this, then come watch me play as my character Spectre. We should be playing next Sunday, a little bit earlier than now, about 2.5 hours earlier than now, I think. And yeah, so I won't be streaming Sundays or Thursdays for a little while for no reason. Sin also definitely isn't involved in that. But today we are continuing on with our Masks Clockwork edition. So this is an ongoing series of issues that will kind of all tie together with this team being the forefront and focus of what is happening and the dire plots that they are thwarting within the confines of Halcyon City, which is our setting. It is an eastern ocean side city, so lots of trade, exports, big city, lots of superheroes. Most of the population is still unpowered. However, even some of the non-powered people throw on a mask and decide to go out and do things, which is not the case with this group, but it is still things that happen. And so, yeah, that's kind of general setting, and we will give you a recap now of what happened in the last issue, and I believe that Batguin, aka the Night Fox, is going to be taking us away on that one, so please, take the floor.
All right. So, at the end of issue 1, part 1, everyone had went back in time, so everything they got done was not done. And then, so the group decided to go deal with the ships in the harbor because they were having some sort of problem that I don't remember figuring out. We were told to meet up in the lighthouse, and so we went to the lighthouse, and in the lighthouse was Greg. And Greg was doing some chaos to destroy the city, or just cause enough chaos because he doesn't like alpha technologies. He has some sort of big griping thing with them that he actually discussed with Cleric before the rest of the team arrived because we were kind of scattered after we yelled at each other because of all the time travel stuff. Then we slowly started coming back together as a group. We even convinced Greg to come along with us as we had to go in the sewers and deal with a monster. Which we all believed to be a giant alligator, because why wouldn't you believe it's a giant alligator? Because there's giant alligators in the real sewers, so they should be in the game sewers, but they're not, apparently. Instead, it was some sort of kind of hulking beast thing that called himself Ao. Now, Ao, he seemed kind of cute, so we let him tag along as well. We also fed him a lot of food that we may have stolen as we went towards Age's headquarters. We also had a proper superhero with us at one point in time, but she flaked out because she can't be trusted. And then after we lost Greg in the sewers, we're pretty sure he died to an actual alligator. And then we moved into Aegis headquarters and went back to where we saw the big machine and the people that were frozen, and then some of them were still moving. So we went towards that way, into this vault type of area. So we did get there, and in there was a science lady. Her real name is Science Lady, and we saw an older gentleman who looked like he was in control of everything. So we went to talk to him, and it was revealed that that is Shadow's father. So we didn't get his real name, but we're pretty sure it's Shadow Daddy. And it's not Alpha Industries, so we
Had or no.
It might be, but we'll come to that when we get to it. And then it was a long, drawn-out fight. We tried to fight. Shadow had to wrestle with herself and her loyalty to her father, then her loyalty to her team, and back and forth. So that was put stress on the team, as I believe 13 got knocked around quite a bit, as did Night Fox.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you're still suffering concussion. That's fine.
He did fling himself into a door and tumble down some stairs, so head injury is very possible.
And then we did ultimately win, kind of, against them. We also broke the machine in there, so time was flowing normally.
Yes.
We didn't get reset. We don't know if that's really a good thing or a bad thing in the long run, but we weren't too worried about it. We did end up. We beat him so much that he decided to fly, which was an interesting thing. We didn't know he could fly, so he kind of just zipped right on out of the building,
so he
creating
had
several holes.
Like an Iron Man suit, basically, and he used that to propel himself out of the building.
Now, I seem to remember him just being able to fly.
Yep, Shadow's non-powered parents. Totally.
Yes. Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah. And then we were essentially victorious. Everyone was unfrozen. We talked to the Aegis agent Ida, who had kind of given us a little briefing of this stuff, and she chastised us for coming in such the lower levels of the Aegis headquarters, and we're not allowed to talk about it to anybody, including other soups, which is kind of disheartening. Went back to our dorms, relaxed. Night Fox checked on Shadow to make sure she was okay, and they broke into the zoo to play with the penguins, as one does. It's a common thing.
Yes.
Let me think. Anything else? 13 realized that Greg is his father, but the rest of us don't know that. And I have 100% forgot how to play this game.
That's okay. All you need is 2d6. That's gonna be your primary.
Well, I only have 70 of them.
Oh shoot, darn! That's not enough.
Give me a sec. I may have moved mine slightly. Give me.
Okay. I am gonna step in and add just a little bit, just to kind of summarize the entire issue. So the problem that you guys were facing was you were heading to school, and then suddenly there's this giant dome, basically, that appears over the entire city. The first time that this happened, you guys received a distress call from Agent Ida within Aegis. It was really crackly, hard to hear, and then the line went dead and your comms were no longer functioning. There was a brief power outage that then came back on, but you still weren't able to get in contact with Aegis. You guys made it over there, some of you struggling a little bit more than others, as 13 came to realize that his powers can come at a cost if he's not careful. Then you explored Aegis and you found some oddities. The first of which was when you were outside, you heard a crash. You later determined that something escaped from one of the test tubes. Later on, you can kind of confirm that that was Kano, able to break out during the chaos that was happening. Shadow and 13 went and checked out some of the Aegis holding cells, and Shadow got into a villain's room. That villain's name was Electric Doom, and she tried to punch him or kick him to wake him up. But she found that when she kicked him, it was like hitting something totally solid, like kicking a brick wall, basically. There was no movement, like even like his face wouldn't indent, she couldn't get the skin to press in, so he was completely frozen. And then you guys all came back together, went into the Aegis Assembly Hall, and discovered a bunch of Aegis agents all gathered up into the same spot, and every single one of them was frozen. Shadow and 13 grabbed onto Shadow, and Shadow was kind of forced to take 13 with her. Traveled downstairs, found the time machine. Shadow went and played with it and basically reset you guys in a time loop. So you were jumped forward into the next day, and the dome once again reappeared as soon as you guys came back out. You guys decided to go check out a hospital situation because your comms came alive again, and this time you were receiving a lot of radio chatter. There was a ship coming into harbor that they were worried about. There was a bank robbery. There was a monster running around in the streets. There was a bomb threat at the hospital, and there was something else, but we didn't look at it, so it didn't matter. So you guys went to the hospital. Cleric managed to successfully talk down the guy and then also determined that his bomb was a fake. So he got arrested. Shadow and 13 had some lovely bonding moments over the babies, because Shadow was getting a little bit teary-eyed and also very aggressive towards the man that was threatened the hospital. And yeah, so in the second issue, you guys were able to successfully, well, kind of jumped the gun a little bit because you guys walked into the fight and Cleric just immediately went pew pew, laser eyes, and destroyed the time machine. Very long, hard-fought battle. Shadow's father, his whole premise for building the time machine, as far as you guys are aware of, is to get his wife back because she died in childbirth with Shadow. So he is attempting to try to bring her back. However, it seems like there have been complications. You guys heard him arguing with the science lady as she was kind of a little bit irritated with how he was running her program. But you guys were victorious. The villain got away to fight another day. Kano and Shadow had a lovely bonding moment as Kano is trying to tap back into his humanity after kind of losing it after Shadow's father maybe possibly sent him to Aegis to be experimented on because he wanted him out of the way because he didn't like him because he was taking Shadow away from the family business. But that's totally irrelevant, definitely. It's fine. So, we also ended on a gradual fade back from Night Fox and Shadow as they looked out onto the penguins. And we saw the silhouette of another penguin, a certain penguin that hates a certain member of the team, despises them for keeping a secret identity and guarding it so carefully. And then we saw him go into his little shelter area, and the walls were just covered in some sort of markings. We as the audience don't really know what they are, but we can probably infer that there is something nefarious going on with that little penguin. And I think that that is where we left off. So, this time, we are jumping forward a couple of weeks. You guys have kind of been low-key put basically on probation, with Aegis basically just watching to make sure that you guys aren't going around telling anybody about what happened. because their main concern is that they do not want people finding out that somebody successfully managed to basically take out all of Aegis in a matter of seconds. Oh, other thing to note, when you guys were going through the time loops, Cleric noticed that each time you went through, your life forces were going down. Like, not a lot, not a significant amount to, like, shave off a whole lot of time off your lives, but it was going down.
Do we know this?
I
Has Cleric shared this with us?
don't, well, actually, yes, I think Cleric did.
Okay.
No, he didn't.
Oh, I didn't think he did, but I
No,
wasn't sure.
actually, yeah, no,
We'll
you're
wait
right,
till we
he
come
didn't.
back, but I don't think it's shared.
Yeah,
We're
no.
not aware of it yet.
Yeah, so you guys are not aware of it, but Cleric is aware of it. So you guys have been on like really small missions, but it's mostly just like going out and patrolling the streets, taking out, pickpocketers, like really low level, easy bad guys that it's almost kind of demeaning with what you guys have just accomplished, and literally saving Aegis. But they just kind of want to keep you out of the fray for a little bit. So a few weeks have gone by. They say that it's time for you guys to recuperate after exerting yourselves so much. And we will pick up outside of the Parasol School. We see Shadow out of costume, in casual clothes leaving the building, in a very fancy car, pulls up. The driver gets out and opens the door. And Shadow, you can see in the back seat that your father is waiting for you, and he will gesture for you to come join him.
So Shadow would stand there. She would think for a minute and then she'd get into the car with him.
Right, yeah, the driver will shut the door, get into the front seat. There's like a window that goes up. It's a blackout window, so that you and your father can speak privately. And he'll kind of stay quiet for a little bit as you guys drive away from the school, and then he'll say, I think there has been misunderstandings between me and your teammates. And I know that there have been misunderstandings between us. I am not a particular fan of the path that you are taking, but with everything that happened, it made me realize just how much I need to be there for you, and I haven't been doing that. So, if they'll allow me, I would like to take a chance to speak with your teammates, to apologize for my actions, and to ask for your help.
Are we in the car with?
No, it's just Shadow and her dad. You
Right,
guys are
right,
not
like,
also
it could be-
cramped
it
in the
could be a very
car.
big car. Well, he's got a lot of money, I guess.
I mean, it could be a limo.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Shadow would stay quiet for a moment, think it over. It's like, well, I can ask them and propose the idea, but it's up to them whether they accept it.
I understand that. With what I was trying to do, I was very caught up in my emotions, and I'm sure that you understand that seeing that machine, that chance, get destroyed, it was devastating. It was like losing your mother all over again.
Shadow would nod in agreement, but stay quiet.
All right. He will kind of he'll roll the barrier between you guys and the driver down, and he'll have him take you to the dorms where you all reside. And your father will. I don't know. What do you think? Would you have your father come with you to the door, or would you have him wait in the car while you go and talk to everybody?
I think Shadow would have him wait in the car while she went to go talk with everybody.
Okay. I think that he's not gonna stay in the car. He'll like get out, but he'll kind of just like lean against the door and watch as you head into the building. The rest of you, today is a bit of an easier day. Not quite as much schooling. Like I said, they're kind of giving you a little bit of a reprieve. Aegis doesn't want you talking about what happened, but you guys did well, so your grades and your courses are reflecting that. But you've kind of gotten a little bit of a reprieve in your daily lives. So the three of you are doing whatever. Would you guys be hanging out together? Are you in your separate rooms? Are you in like a common area? Where do you think we find your characters? It's probably about like noonish on like a Wednesday.
Yeah,
Night
lunchtime.
Fox, you have work tonight, starting at 6. What was that, Warwick?
Is it lunchtime?
Yeah, probably. It could definitely be
Alright,
lunchtime.
I'll be in the canteen trying to get as much food as I can.
All right, yeah. We see 13 with a giant pile of like hamburgers and pizza slices and Dorito bags just all piled up onto a plate, and he gets to the lunch lady and she just like stares at you.
And I'm
And
just
then
smiling,
just
going,
like we have like a whole thing of like deep sigh, like just very long. And then she gradually punches in the total and rings it up on your student card, and then will like motion you to
Awesome.
move along.
because I feel like wouldn't really get to enjoy this sort of food in my time because of what's going on and stuff. So I'm like, okay,
It's like
this is great. I'm gonna make
delicious.
the most of it.
As it's like shitty lunch, like lunch
Oh yeah,
cafeteria
it's
food.
shitty, but I
It's like
am
garbage,
loving
like it's like cardboard pizza, and the hamburger buns are all like dripping. It's like
Like,
the
everyone else
milk is
looking at
like
me
2
going,
days from expiration, and 13's got them all stacked up in a pile. Excellent,
Yeah.
love it. What about you, Night Fox? What do you think you're up to?
So she knows she has work in roughly 5 or 6 hours. Probably relaxing a bit, chilling in her dorm.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll see Night Fox. I mean, like the dorms come furnished, and they're pretty nicely furnished because this is a well upstanding school for supers. So you've got like a plush armchair and a nice footstool, and you're just kind of rocking the PJs, nice slippers on, just watching National Geographic, obviously, a penguin documentary.
Yeah.
And just chilling. Cool. Cleric, what about you?
General question: are we in our costumes most of the time, or just like
I
don them
mean,
whenever we're doing mission shit?
yeah, your costumes are generally reserved for mission use. Night Fox would probably wear her costume around more on campus just because she doesn't want to be seen without it. But since she's currently in her dorm room, it's probably a little bit of a let your hair down moment and take a breath outside of the mask.
I think I would be with 13, probably right behind him in line, but with like a salad because I was pre-med and
Yes.
want good nutrients.
Yes.
And I'm just looking at him like,
we
okay.
I think what we see is we see 13 with this giant piled up tray. Like, we can't even see 13's face. We just see his arms holding the tray, and it's just piles of food and shit. And then 13
Like-
steps out of the way, and there's Cleric with a tiny tray with just a salad on it. So
Perfect,
that
yeah.
that drastic comparison. Yeah, so the lunch lady will ring you up. No problem. She seems relieved that you didn't. I mean, like a lot of students do what 13 does because some of them, like Kano recently transformed, probably need to eat a lot to sustain themselves. Speedsters especially tend to need a higher calorie intake. So it's a bit of a relief when it's just one thing on the plate. All right, so we've got 13 and Cleric in the lunchroom. Night Fox is currently in her dorm room. Shadow, the cafeteria is probably the more public space that you would find your teammates. So it'd probably be easier to start there and then go fetch Night Fox. Or go fetch Night Fox and have her come down to the cafeteria. I'll leave it up to you.
I think she'd go over to the cafeteria first. So she'd walk in, find where her teammates are.
Yeah, you see 13 with like half a pizza dangling out of his mouth, like trying to talk to Cleric about something, but it's just like kind of gross. And then the pizza like falls and it hits the bench next to 13 and he looks at it and then like picks it up and starts and continues eating it regardless.
100%. Look over what?
Mario, hey, what's up? Like food falling out of your mouth. Cleric gets a little bit of a flake of chewed up pizza crust on his cheek.
I think Cleric lost his appetite.
Cleric silently pushes the salad in front of 13.
What's that?
13 has never seen a vegetable in his life. He has no idea what this is.
Well, when you use the pizza as a crouton, it's actually good for you.
We see 13, what's a crouton? And then Shadow will walk in.
Hey, Shadow.
Hello, she says as she reaches over and grabs a fry from 13's plate and just eats it without asking.
I think that's fine because I don't think I would see you doing that.
Yeah, he can't see you through the giant mound of food.
Yeah. Oh, Shadow. Oh, you alright? You okay?
Yeah, where's the Night Fox?
I don't know. You want some food?
Shadow, you know what a crouton is, right?
Yeah, it's a little piece of bread thing that you put in salads.
Well, like this pizza.
13 proceeds to just dump the entire pizza slice into the salad and then just like stabs a fork in the pizza, picks it up. There's like a little bit of ranch on it and like maybe a tiny piece of lettuce and takes a big bite and is like, hey, that is really good.
And I just have a thought to myself and go, I never got my head checked out earlier. No.
Resumes rapidly consuming food.
Cleric is very glad that 13 has eaten a vegetable in the last month now.
Shadow just silently face palms like, oh my gosh.
I think it's safe to say that if you guys don't see Night Fox in costume in any of the public areas, you can probably assume that she's in her dorm.
Is everything right, Shadow? Did you need Night Fox or are you good?
Yeah, I need to talk with you all about something, and Night Fox is a part of our group, so she should be here when I ask the questions, so...
Sure, yeah. What, should we meet up, now or after school, or?
Now would be best. It's quite
Yeah.
important.
Okay. Yeah, so I what would I do? Do I have a cape? No, I wouldn't have a cape.
put
I
the
would just try to
sunglasses on.
just my arms and just try to rest as much food as I can.
Yeah, we just see like the flurry of motions. You use your speed powers to kind of speed it up so that you can chow down as quickly as you can. So
Can
it
I
just
actually do
becomes
that?
like a yeah, absolutely. It just becomes like a blur of motion. We like it goes so fast that like by the time that you're done, the spoon is actually bent from like how quickly you were moving and how hard it wound up pressing against the tray by the time you
Ah,
got to the bottom.
fourth one this week. You need to get better
uh,
spoons.
the lunch lady
They
is
ran out of
silently like
adamantium.
fuming in the corner. We just see like the steam rising off of her head and like another long
Yeah, we
sigh.
better go for Night Fox. You come a cleric.
Yeah, Cleric is wondering if, considering 13-8 with super speed, whether or not he's still hungry.
Probably still a little bit.
I do look back at the food as we walk away, because there's still a little bit left. But I do look back at it and go, "No, I'll be all right."
Nah, it's fine.
And as they probably leave the cafeteria, Shadow would reach over and grab an apple.
All right. Yeah, you just take it. And like at this point, the lunch lady's like so zoned in on her hatred for 13 at that moment that she just doesn't even notice.
Perfect.
Action. It's all planned.
Yep. All right, so
Spend
you
5 grand
guys.
on food and then distract an apple.
All right, so 13 cleric and shadow will trudge upstairs into the more dorm area and locate Night Fox's room. All your rooms are next to each other, so it's not like you have to walk 5,000 miles away from everything. So you go knock on the door and wait for Night Fox, who probably at very least throws the mask on to gotta keep up appearances.
Begrudgingly. Nicely relaxing, had her feet up, watching the penguin documentary, eating some ice cream. Slowly.
Yep, and then bam, bam, bam. I mean, at Shadow, she was probably kicking the door. Like, not enough to break it in, but just because.
Yeah, she doesn't like to damage her hands. Go over, put my mask on, fix my hair, open the door. What?
I need to talk with you and 13 and him together.
Hi. I poke my head over over the door. Hi.
Yeah, 13's still got like a mess of food around his face.
Yeah.
It's like pizza
Oh.
sauce and pudding, and you just like
Don't worry about
he
it.
rubs it and it just makes it worse. It just smears.
Okay. You're not coming in my room with all of that food.
Okay. I quickly zoom to the bathroom and clean up quickly. and
Yeah,
go back.
your room's like right next
Good.
door, so you just like
All right,
in like a split second you like disappear for a panel and then you're back the next and you're all cleaned up and ready to go.
All right.
Am I
come
good
in.
now?
Yeah. Open the door and let them in my room. It's all clean.
All right, yeah,
Bed's
you
made.
guys.
Ooh.
It's almost clean. There is a small thing of a pint of ice cream with a spoon in it.
Yeah, that's like the only thing really that's probably out of place though. Like everything else is very
Right.
neatly taken care of. You're pretty good about keeping up on your chores in balance with your hero life.
Would we been in your room before?
No.
Ooh.
13 and cleric
Sniff
are
around.
very excited.
Oh boy. I think Shadow might have been, but not the boys. No.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I mean, Cleric's just like, oh my god, I get to see a private part of Night Fox. Amazing, damn it.
Yep. Yeah.
Is that a
Cleric.
spoon?
We have like a little tiny panel of like cleric just kind of like heart-eyed like as you guys walk into the room. Yeah, so you guys all enter the room. There is like a little dining table that has a couple of chairs around it. It's not usually used that much, but you all sit down there to
Jeez,
discuss.
these stormworms are posh.
Yeah, they're nice.
Shadow kind of lets the boys sort of die down in their awe before she starts talking. Well, my father, he's outside and he wants to talk with you.
Alpha Daddy.
I'm sorry, what? Your father wants to talk to us.
Yes.
What about?
No?
He kind of tried to kill us. I'm a little hesitant about this.
Yeah. Or the other way. Yeah. Yeah, no.
Okay. So yep. Why does he want to talk to us, Shadow?
Says he wants to apologize for what happened and he's wanting to ask for help.
Okay. So clearly he should go to Aegis and turn himself in. And possibly the police and any other superhero team,
or just
or just
no.
leave. Any one of those options seemed like the better option. I mean, okay, if he just wants to apologize, then he can just turn himself in. That seems very simple. He's an adult. He should definitely know this by now.
I
And
think
considering what we saw last time we saw him, seems a bit manipulative. So if he's trying to manipulate us, that I'm gonna web him.
Shadow, I will say that you are probably able to draw the conclusion that because your father's company is so heavily involved with Aegis and provides so many of their weapons and their tech, and especially the power inhibitor collars, I think it's safe to say that he probably got off with a slap on the wrist after all was said and done. You don't know the exactly what happened. But it's probably safe to say that he could easily brush it off as, oh, it was an accident in the lab, we fixed it, it's fine, nothing to worry about, I apologize, we'll take more precautions in the future. Just something like that where Aegis probably isn't gonna arrest him. And the local police don't know that anything happened, so...
Yeah.
And you could
I don't.
probably relay that to your teammates.
Okay, I'll just relay that instead of trying to figure out a different way to say it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hmm.
And it's also odd, Shadow, that your father is actively seeking someone else's help. Especially coming to you and your teammates. Because he's made it very clear that he does not care for what you're doing. So this is weird.
I also relay this.
Perfect.
But I replied to obviously what you said, tough and stuff. Like, yeah, this is why we're hesitant at the least to even think about helping your father. We fought quite a big battle, and you've had your issues with him. We've had issues with him. Now he wants to apologize and ask for help. What do you want to do? Do you want to help your father? Surely you must at least be sort of questioning it. Surely.
I am questioning it, but I do kind of want to help. He is still my father, and I don't know.
Does it seem genuine? Because I'm willing to trust you, Shadow. If you trust your father, who's genuinely want to be sorry, and you trust him with this, and I will go with it. I'm not happy about it, but I trust you enough. So that's my stance anyway. And then I slowly start eating another burger that I had in my pocket. I don't know why I'm hungry all of a sudden.
It's
in this
smashed up and
episode.
covered in lint.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's my awkward
Awkward
moment
silence
burger.
is 13 just kind of quietly like holds it up like this. And is just looking at everybody else waiting for their responses.
What did I tell you about food? Damn it,
Okay.
13.
So I walk out.
Just leaves the room to go eat.
Yeah. By the way, I will FYI, I have eaten just before this. I don't know why I'm all something about food, but
All right, Shadow. He can apologize to us, but he has to meet us in a place where there's other supers.
I mean, you're literally on a campus full of superheroes.
Yeah, but if we walk outside, you know.
I mean, you might want to get out of your pajamas, but you could definitely walk outside. I mean, if you want to, by all means.
So there's other supers walking around.
Oh yeah,
campus.
you are literally on a campus full of super students, and they are all training to be superheroes, and they all have awesome powers. Like, if he tried anything, there would be a literal swarm of rabid teenagers descending upon him. I think it's probably safe to say that this is one of the safer places that you could have a conversation.
Right. So it's this or a bank. I guess this will work. All right. Yeah. Everybody get out of my room so I can get dressed.
Cleric and 13 visibly deflate and then leave. All right. So Night Fox gets changed. The rest of you leave the room, and then Night Fox changes and walks back out in costume. And you guys head back downstairs and outside. I mean, the car is parked in like a parking lot, but it's like a big courtyard area, so there's still plenty of students walking around. And a couple of like professors and teachers who are also probably superheroes, heading to different classes and so on and so forth. He will see you all leaving, and he will push up off of the car and walk over to greet you. He's trying not to be, but it's obviously a little bit awkward because, you know, you guys kind of kicked his ass the last time that you met him. And he'll kind of gesture over. There's like a couple of picnic tables out in front of the dorm rooms, and he'll be like, would you like to sit?
is that to all of us or?
Yeah, just kind of like a general statement of like, do we want to go sit down and talk?
No, I'm good. I'm good standing.
Same.
Understandable. And his posture kind of shifts. Like he kind of had his shoulders back, you know, kind of putting on a bit of a more confident air, and you kind of see the shoulders droop just a little bit.
Tough is the best. Blella lady, lella lady, lella lady, lella lady, lella lady. I hope I broke TTS. Blella lady, lella lady, lella lady, lella lady, lella lady.
Well, that's interesting. It didn't
What?
play the alert for the sub, but it played the TTS.
I wonder why you made a
we
weird
still
face.
danced.
Yeah. Well, I was like gonna
Just-
apologize to be like, sorry, Billy, the TTS probably isn't gonna come through, and then it did.
Oh, the bella la 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 la.
Yeah. So yeah, you see the shoulders kind of drop. He puts his hand in his suit pockets. He'll be like, I think that there was everything happened in a bit of a heat of the moment, and I've had to think about what things looked like from your perspectives on what was happening. But I just wanted to explain and to apologize for my reaction. I lost my wife many years ago, and this time machine that we had been working on with help from Aegis and their scientists was my chance to get her back. And when it got destroyed, it was devastating. But that doesn't excuse what I did. I have spoken with Aegis about it, and what happened to the agents is regrettable, though they are all fine. So, I understand why you did what you did. I wanted to apologize for my reaction, but I need you to understand that that kind of heartbreak, it manifests in dangerous ways, as I'm sure you saw with, Shadow as well.
Right.
Yeah. No, I get that we broke your hope for something that you could possibly clearly make again. But before we broke it, you weren't very helpful for us anyway. So
Would you be very helpful if somebody that had no idea what you were doing or what was going on just waltzed in and started trying to play superhero?
we asked like 2 questions.
Yes, and you brought my daughter into a very dangerous situation.
That you
You didn't
created.
bring your daughter into anything. She wants to be part of it.
And like I said, I'm trying to come to terms with that. This isn't kind of gesture vaguely to the entire campus. This isn't something that I care for. However, there's a sense of admiralty in it. And I also see the benefits of having so many heroes available within the city. As I'm sure Shadow told you, I'm not just here to apologize. There's something else. If you'll allow me to speak on the subject. Although, and he will look at you, Cleric, there is something that I will need to tell you regardless.
Well, we're here, so I'm happy to listen at least.
Yeah, out with it.
Right, yeah. He takes a piece of paper out of his pocket and he hands it towards you, Cleric. Just like he'll say this was left for you.
Left from me? From who?
Whoever is responsible for breaking into and stealing from my company.
Okay. Claire picks up the paper and looks at it.
And it's really messy handwriting, so it's kind of almost difficult to read. But it says on it, I did what I came to do, Cleric.
Ah, dang it.
What's the? You all right, Claire? What's with the water? What's with the paper?
You remember when we were in the lighthouse and you met my
Yes.
13's eyes get real
friend?
big. Yes, that
Yes.
guy, who I definitely don't know, and we only met him the one time, and I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, what about him?
Wait,
Yeah, I know who stole from Alpha Daddy's company.
Shadow's father looks a little bit confused about the Alpha Daddy comment.
So is Night Fox.
Shadow slightly tenses up.
Cleric is very naive and doesn't know that there's a second potential connotation to this.
Right. Sure he doesn't.
I'm like,
But she's like, oh yeah, I see it.
yeah.
Apparently, Cleric and 13 both share the same taste in men and women, so good to know.
That's what the battle's about. I got it. Okay.
It's all about bisexuality.
Bisexuals make the world go around.
Hell yeah.
So you want us to catch the person who stole from you?
Yes, and to bring back what they stole because it was a significant amount.
What did they steal?
Blueprints, technology, weaponry. They basically hauled everything out. When we made it back to the headquarters, everyone was on the floor, either unconscious or worse, as though the life was just sucked out of them. And when we went to catalog everything, we discovered that there were a multitude of very dangerous pieces of information that have been taken.
So wait, they stole weaponry from you?
Nothing like... They're more disruptive weapons than the type to kill. So sonic weaponry, EMP emitters,
I believe it's
mechanical bodysuits. Sure. But they're dangerous in the right hands. My company is audited and kept an eye on by Aegis, and so we do not create lethal weapons and technology. We put inhibitors on anything that we make to ensure that they don't reach those levels. However, with the blueprints and the weapons, anyone with the technological capability would be able to turn them into something very, very dangerous.
Right.
Do you know who stole from you?
Aegis sent some agents over to assess the situation, and one of them, I believe Ida, directed me to you, Cleric, in regards to this note.
Does your headquarters not have surveillance footage?
The building was compromised, and that's about as much as I would like to say.
Great.
So is this an official Aegis request?
This isn't coming from Aegis, no. I was more pointing in this direction to try to get a sense of where to start, but I think that you far are more than capable of taking care of it, and I would rather not rely on Aegis at the moment.
I'm sure Aegis would rather not rely on you, too.
Well, we have a partnership.
We would love to help you, but unfortunately, Aegis said, we can't assist in anything like this. So yeah.
And he'll kind of like be like, so, give me a moment, and he'll take out his cell phone and make a call. It's kind of like hushed conversation. You're only getting half of it, so it's a little bit confusing. But in the end, he hangs up and is like, okay, permission granted, we'll say.
Okay, while he's on the phone, I want to turn to 13 and ask him a question.
Sure.
13, remember when we were in the secret basement area and you went up with Shadow and I stayed with Cleric and we went in the vending machines?
Yes.
Yep. You guys said you found prisoners with some sort of thing on them that I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, the collars.
Collar. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
Does his company make them, or are those Aegis?
You know their alpha industry, 13.
I relayed the information.
Yes. Yes, the answer is yes.
I was like, yes.
All right. So potentially, if the bad guy who stole the stuff has those, we're all in trouble anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. Yep. And then he finishes the conversation. His little cellular device, whatever that is. Well, thank you for the granted permission, but did this thief take any of those collars?
Yes. They also destroyed several prototypes that we were working on.
Right. So, what assurances do we have that you're just not setting us up for all four of us to be collared?
Why would I do that to my own kid?
I don't know. Why did you do anything that you did during the fight? You had a overreaction as you stated it, but you could be having a conscious overreaction right now.
I'll kind of pause and think for a minute. I'll be completely honest. I am not necessarily a fan of doing this, but I think that it's the best way to get this resolved, and it also gets you a chance to get back out on the field and prove yourselves. If I were trying to do something, I wouldn't be doing it like this, and I wouldn't be bringing Shadow into it. She might put herself into it, as she's prone to do, but I would not actively put her in that situation.
This dude's bad news, and if he's got all the tech from Alpha Daddy's company, that's just going to make things worse for the city and for everyone. So even though I don't like this, and I'm not particularly a fan of Aegis at the moment either, I think we need to do this.
I reluctantly agree. Yeah.
Shadow,
Much
what
as
do you
I like
think?
it, but yeah.
And Cleric says Alpha Daddy again. Shadow's going to attempt to hit him.
Okay. Doesn't answer my question, but I like that pre-thought.
Wait, does Shadow hit me? Because I'll just look at her like, what? What'd I do?
Yeah, we'll say that Shadow gets a pretty good slug onto your shoulder. And yeah, we see Claire like, what? And Shadow's dad is just like, Shadow, don't do that. It's fine. So kind of gentle chastising from Shadow's dad.
All right, sorry. I guess maybe I should have asked your name before we had this conversation.
Yeah,
Apparently,
Shadow.
does not like my nickname for you.
Shadow, what's your dad's name?
His name Ryu.
Okay. And he'll
That's
say it's
RYU.
yeah. Just call me Ryu. Not Alpha Daddy. That's
Alpha Daddy Ryu.
no, absolutely not.
Shadow would go over to 13 and just put her shoulder or elbow onto his shoulder and just look at him.
Mr.
Look,
Ryu.
I don't like this. Okay, I need to have some enjoyment. All right. But how, in all seriousness, away from the names, Shadow, how do you feel about this?
I say we do it.
Then I'm happy
All
to
right.
do it.
All right.
Guess we'll help you out.
Well, obviously you have the note. You're also welcome to come to the headquarters and investigate as you wish. I, however, have other things that I need to attend to. So, Shadow has my personal number if you need me, but for now I will leave you all to your own devices. And he'll kind of like pause for a second and then kind of like reach out and just kind of like gently squeeze Shadow's shoulder, and then he'll turn and head back to the car. So, what do you do?
Well, that was awkward. Especially with you two. Looks at 13 and Cleric.
What did I do?
Put my burger back.
Where do you keep getting those?
Have you checked your butthole?
Oh dear.
13's unknown
phone, hello?
superpower is just
The secret pocket.
yeah, a secret
Yeah.
pocket.
Okay. Serious face. Right, I don't feel good about this, but I feel it's better than the alternative, as much as I don't like it. And Shadow wants to help, and I'm willing to help.
Sounds like we need to suit up and go tackle this. Before we go though, how much do y'all know about Greg?
The 13's like nothing, absolutely nothing. I know nothing about him. Why don't you tell me some more about Greg, please? I need to know about this dangerous enemy that we're going to be facing, who I definitely don't know.
Grog?
Yeah,
Never heard of
what
it.
was even
Weird
his name again? And like, I think the 13's just gradually talking faster and faster and faster until you like can't understand him.
Dude,
right.
dude, chill.
What? I'm just saying I don't know him, all right?
Just
Okay?
put the
I'm just-
hamburger
I
back
don't
in
know
his
anything,
mouth.
all right?
yeah, just shh.
I'm just trying to remember if I've told them that he's basically got my same powers.
I don't think you've told them anything about Greg.
Cool. Okay, so Greg.
Secret.
He is like me. We were in the same accident that gave us powers, and so he can manipulate life force. So when Mr. Rio was saying that he found people unconscious, that's because Greg was basically sucking the life force out of them.
Wait,
So
I'm sorry.
he's
He
very
was sucking
dangerous.
people?
Yes, in public, no less. He is a danger to all.
A dangerous
Oh, wow.
voyeur.
Alright.
Ballsy.
Yeah, that's whew.
Almost impressive.
He's got more balls than that streamer WarwickZero that I watch sometimes.
You have time to watch streamers? I thought you only watched documentaries.
Don't you sass me.
Oh, it's fourth wall breaking. I love it. Yes, Jesse, you're all right.
So yeah, while I went the path of the hero, Greg went the path of the villain, and is determined to just be an ass.
This Greg, Was he evil? Like, what makes him evil? Like, I don't know the guy, but I just like what makes him evil.
Well, like I said, like I'm trying to heal people and keep them going, but Greg is manipulates people. He'll ask people to do something for him, and if they don't do what he wants, he'll steal their life force until they're weak to try to force them to do it. And it usually works. I'm working with Agent Ida to try to take him down because he's making a name for himself in the criminal underground of the city.
Yeah, so 13, as Cleric is saying all of this, and you're thinking back, trying to get memories of your father, it doesn't seem quite right with what you remember about him. Like, you recognized him, you know that it's him, but from your memories, you remember that he was very much never use your powers, very pro, he was very pro for the collars, until you went to go back in time. And then he took your collar off and sent you back to fix things. So you don't know a lot about your father's past, but you know what he was like in your past. And so
It's not
it's
this.
it's a little bit weird because you can't draw the connections. Like it feels off with what
Yeah.
Cleric's telling you.
Well, okay. It sounds like he's not on the right path, I guess. But I'm sure he's not that bad, right? Right, guys?
Maybe there's hope for him. Just I'm letting you know so you know to watch out. Try not to be grappled by him, because like my
Greg, right?
powers. Yeah, Greg.
Yeah,
Excellent.
these silly past names, they're so hard to wrap your mind around.
At least we have you, cleric.
I appreciate that, 13. I'm hoping that my powers can cancel his a bit, but I guess we'll see.
We will
Um,
see.
so yeah, I guess let's get suited up and head to Alpha Industries and see what we can find.
What time is it?
It's probably about 1:30.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta keep an eye on the clock.
I'm aware of this.
um, in fact, as you start heading back to into the dorms, like you don't need to change NoHatHatter, you're already in your costume, but you gotta wait for your teammates. Your phone goes off, and you get a text from work asking you to come in 2 hours earlier. So they want you there at four instead of 6.
The fuck is this? A bakery?
Oh, actually, now you come to think of it,
13's like, what's a bakery?
No, he's not allowed in those places.
Is there food there?
Banned.
This is why Night Fox wouldn't tell 13 what their real identity is, because 13 would show up at Night Fox's workplace and eat the entire restaurant.
I mean, if it's money. Everything okay, Night Fox? You looked concerned for a second.
Yep, just gotta be somewhere at 4. So
It's more important than trying to save the supers and the people of the city?
I don't know yet. Maybe.
That is yet to be
Oh.
determined.
Okay. Shadow,
Yes.
before we head out, I need to know. Do you forgive me for all that happened in the basement? Blowing up the machine?
Not quite.
Okay. Fair enough. Are we still teammates?
Shadow would pause for a moment. just think it over. Yes.
Okay. I appreciate that. I'm glad I have you at my back.
I still want to beat you up, though.
Maybe a little less glad to have Shadow at your back.
I'm gonna have you at my side then. if that's
Yeah,
okay.
keep an eye. And, like, socially distance, 5 feet away at least.
At least we're all wearing masks.
There you go. Alright, so yeah, you guys,
Said the name of the game we're playing.
what?
You said it.
So yeah, 13, Shadow and Cleric, you guys go and get suited up, since you are now on a Aegis and school sanctioned mission to find out what has happened at Alpha Industries. How are you guys gonna get there?
How far is it?
Bike. I
The person with super
Yeah,
speed.
13 went and bought a bike after
don't.
all of the issues with running everywhere last time.
Yes.
I move really fast in the bike. I can get there in half the time.
Yeah, except
That'll take
then
twice as long
In
to
the
get
door, though.
the unlock.
yeah, no, 13 tried to no, you tried to ride the bike one time going on one of like your smaller missions, and you immediately shredded the tires from how quickly you were trying to make them move. Like they just burst in flames.
Yeah, I got a bike. I look over and it's like on like a bike
Yeah,
shed.
it's like on like cinder blocks. Like the wheels are
no,
gone.
never mind.
It's just the frame.
Yeah, so how far is this place?
So the school is located outside of downtown because it's like you gotta have room for the sprawling campus. Alpha Industries is located in the heart of downtown, so it's several miles away at least.
Oh, great.
I guess we'll get a taxi.
I mean, I could try to teleport. Can't guarantee you will all make it together in one piece. She looks over at Cleric.
You know, taxi sounds really good. I'm good with a taxi. Yeah. Wait, does the school not have like ways to get us around to missions and stuff?
Um, sure. Let's say that the school does offer options. It's usually only available to you if you're like on campus. Typically if you get caught up in something that is not like you're not being directed by the school to go there, they don't typically provide it. But since you guys are on a Aegis and school sanctioned mission, yeah, they will provide you with a car and someone to drive you.
Sweet. Let's use the service.
All right. Are you all using it?
I'm happy to use it.
Yeah, I just gotta run in my dorm and grab something real quick.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, while the car is coming around Nightfox, you can dart up and get your things, since I'm sure you'll want to have your uniform to change into.
Alright, I call shotgun. Since I know where we're supposed to be going.
I feel like Shadow doesn't even like say I call shotgun. She just rips open the front door and gets in and just shuts it before anybody else can.
And then locks the door.
Yeah, and then like looks Cleric dead in the eyes as she locks the door.
Cleric ponders getting in the trunk, but gets in the back seat as far away from Shadow as possible.
Shadow opens up a portal to send you into the trunk. No, I'm kidding. Alright, so you all pile into the car. Alpha Industries is pretty well known, but Shadow will still just help directly be like, no, that way's faster. And you guys get to Alpha Industries HQ. The building is like people are still working in it, but it's a lot less people for the moment. The attack kind of scared some of the employees off. Some of them have had to take time to recover after what happened. But you guys head inside. You are greeted by a receptionist who recognizes Shadow and is like, yes. And she'll pick up a bunch of lanyards with badges on it and pass them out to each of you. So you have limited access to certain areas within Alpha Industries HQ. It will not get you into any of the like laboratories or anything like that, but you do have access to the rooms that were primarily ransacked, where they keep most of the like basically like vault locker rooms, sort of. so where they store things, and also their filing system so that you can look into the blueprints.
Great. Can we also get a security guard who was there that day to walk us through what happened and be our guide?
So you can walk around and you kind of just walk around and ask people, of like, hey, were you there that day? What happened? There aren't that very many people there that are present that were there that day, but you do manage to find a couple, and they'll tell you that it kind of happened very suddenly, and that basically everybody started to go down at about the same time as the person went up levels. Each level just kind of gradually, people just dropped. And they're not very keen to talk about it, but you kind of get the gist that it was not a pleasant experience.
Jeez, Greg seems strong.
It'd be fine, right?
I mean, we just gotta keep our guard up, I guess.
All right. What else would you guys like to do?
Do we need to do anything else, or are we good to go?
I
or-
mean, are you
Assess the situation.
investigating it anyway, or
yeah,
Shadow.
never gone well for me anyway.
no, you guys just walked in and asked a couple people, hey, what was it like getting the life sucked out of you? And they were like, oh, it sucked. And you're like, oh. And then you
Oh, good
leave.
to know.
How did that suck
Shadow.
job go?
How sucked did it suck if you could suck a suck?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that
Jesus
one of those
Christ.
strange tongue twisters from your time 13?
Yes. Hiding the fact that actually it's just a funny moment.
Wonders
Shadow.
if 13 has a concussion.
Yes, Shadow.
Shadow would like to veer away from the group and go check out a room in which she knows holds some sort of weaponry which she has worked on, just to make sure that it's still there.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about what Shadow would have been building? Like, what sort of projects would she have had that she was working on?
Like, she would have been working on guns that
Okay.
just kind of different technology that that can help people who don't necessarily have powers to have powers. Like, she was trying to create a suit that would allow people to teleport like her, so she made her suit in her little laboratory. So all she has to do is press a little button on her shirt and it just comes on or off. And so she's just working on like bracelets that will allow magnetic flight.
All right.
Just little things.
Yeah, so because I mean, and your father was very happy when you took an interest in designing things for the company. So you have your own space that only like you and select people have access to. And you enter the room, and there's still a lot of stuff that is there, stuff that maybe wasn't quite as far along. However, the suit, most notably, is missing.
Shadow would take note of this. She'd like clench her fists, try so hard to keep her anger in, but because she veered away from the group and she was alone, there's nobody to see her get angry, and she would just like lash out and hit the wall so hard that it would probably make a dent. But of course, it would probably hurt her hand
Yeah.
a little.
Yeah, so we see you do that, and there's like the littlest bit of a dent in the wall, and like we just kind of see Shadow, like knuckles bright red, just kind of like doing her best to shake it off, still like shaking in your anger, but managing to work through it for the most part after releasing some of that. Are you gonna return to the group?
But she would grab some of her little gadgets that she's working on, like a gauntlet that she would put on over her hurt hand so that her friends wouldn't see. It's like a gauntlet that is it's like a magnet, so it like pulls magnetic objects towards, right? So she
All
just
right.
put that on.
Yeah, so maybe it like pulls an object towards like the knuckles so that you have something you can basically attach any weapon to it and just use that to throw good punches.
Yeah.
All
Then
right.
she'd leave and go back.
Okay. Yeah, you shut the door, it locks behind you. What were the rest of you doing while Shadow was doing that? Were you just waiting for her to come back, or were you exploring somewhere else?
Exploring, investigating, trying to find the blueprints, I guess.
Yeah, the receptionist will point you in the direction of the elevator to get you to the room where the blueprints were taken. And like they have digital copies as well, but they also had physical copies, and the physical copies are what we're missing. But they're able to show you on the database the more significant ones that were stolen. And probably the most significant one is the the suit that you saw Shadow's father wearing in your battle with him. Uh, that one is the one that they're most concerned about.
Mm-hmm. So,
Jeez.
not very good at reading blueprints, but it looks like some sort of tuxedo is missing, a waffle iron, and is that a banjo?
You're right. You're not good at reading blueprints. The suit that Mr. Ryu was wearing during our fight, the one that covered him in metal and let him fly, that's missing.
Okay.
Yeah, so your father Shadow actually borrowed your metallic bracelets idea, kind of, to implement it into his suit, to allow him to take off and fly at will, basically, within it. So they have actually they're starting to incorporate some of your ideas into the Alpha Industries tech. Yes, Shadow is being recompensed in the form of allowance.
Good. Um, is there any evidence that it was Greg who did this besides the fact that he left the note?
Um, we'll say that you've been up against Greg long enough to know that he isn't very careful. He doesn't really care if it's noticeable that he was there, or that he leaves a mess in his wake, or if he destroys things. And the room is like it's been tidied up a little bit. They will tell you that much, but it's otherwise still a disaster. Like there are filing cabinets that are knocked over, like there's papers just kind of strewn about, drawers in the filing cabinets have been pulled out, and you can see like smashed pieces of metal all over the place. So it definitely looks like something that Greg would do in his rush to get everything that he could get his hands on, basically.
All right. So, well, he's not here. And the last place we saw him was at the lighthouse. So I'm wondering if perhaps we should go there to see if we can get a clue of where his actual base of operations is.
Man, that wasn't the last place he was. He was in the sewers.
Well, yeah, but the last place that he was where he wanted to be there for his own gain was the lighthouse.
Where's the last place you want to be?
Next to Shadow.
Okay, well, that's where we'll have to start looking.
And I think that's
'Cause you're
probably the
saying he's
point
your
that,
opposite.
that Shadow walks in as you say that. So that's where Shadow will join in on the conversation.
I'm gonna hide behind 13.
You would have been safer if you hid behind Night Fox.
Quickly moves to behind Nightfox.
You just do like a domino effect where you tuck Night Fox in front of 13 and then hide behind both of them.
I was thinking I hide behind. Sorry, letting
WarwickZero gifted a tier 1 sub to Sasuke. They have given 55 gift subs in the channel.
Frickin' TTS. Well, the sound's off, but the TTS is still going.
Whoever did that is a terrible person, anyway.
Yeah, just the absolute worst.
Absolute worst.
Yeah.
Interrupting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say, go behind Night Fox, and then suddenly blush, realizing that I grabbed Night Fox to get behind her. And then very quickly back up even more, and probably walk into a filing cabinet and make even more of a mess in the room.
Yeah, so you grab Night Fox by the shoulders and just kind of pull her in front of you, and you're like hiding for a second, and then you like kind of move your fingers a little bit and realize that you're holding onto the cape, and then you like immediately let go and stumble back. You hit a filing cabinet, and it like domino effects knocks over a bunch of the other cabinets that had like just been uprighted, and then like in an attempt to still look cool, you kind of like start trying to lean on the filing cabinet, but you go too far and fall over. And then have to hurry and get back up and just like strike a hero pose. And then like, yeah, nothing happened.
So
keeping it cool.
Right. Lighthouse. We're going to the lighthouse. The lighthouse is our best chance to find Greg. Lighthouse. Let's go now. Leave now. Yes. Well, wait. Shadow, did you find anything?
I found I found some things were missing. Nothing too important. She lies holding her hand that she hurt out of view, so like her arms would be crossed and the hand would be out of view from the team. Just nothing.
Is there anything? Can I roll if I to distrust or see if Shadow's telling the truth?
You can roll to pierce the mask.
Pierce, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
And
Pierce the mask.
Think
yeah.
You have influence over Shadow as well, so you will roll with a +1 on that.
And there's 2d6.
Yep.
Excellent. Do I need to give you a reason why I want to do this, or?
I mean, you could just be like, you can just straight up be like, I'm a little bit suspicious of Shadow, or it can just be kind of like because you guys have been growing a little bit closer because you've been trying desperately to keep Shadow from going on the path that you fear that she will go on. So you're kind of learning to read her a little bit better. So you might be able to just kind of pick up on when she's lying.
All of the above.
Yeah.
So +1 to it.
Yes, and it's plus mundane, which I think actually puts you at a flat 0 for that roll.
No, I'm -1 on mundane.
Yeah, so that with the +1 on your influence, it's a flat 0.
So
just a straight roll.
Okay. No.
What did you get?
5.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm still thinking of my burger.
yeah, so you look at Shadow and you're trying like it's like something in you is kind of like something seems off, and then you're kind of like no, it's fine, but what really distracts you is a memory that kind of just suddenly pops into your head as you look at her in this building, and then your vision kind of flickers a little bit and you see her next to a woman that you don't recognize, and they are standing on in front of Alpha Industries, and it is like burning, like the city is burning behind them. Um, and then you blink again and it's gone. But you don't pick up on that Shadow's lying because you're kind of reeling after that one.
Yeah. Like, okay. That's my reaction to it.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Okay. So yeah. Shadow.
Yes.
Um, we were looking at the some of the blueprints. It seems Greg got your father's flight suit that he used during our last battle. A waffle iron and a banjo. Um, and then I don't. Did you go in a different room? Maybe did you see any of the collars? Like maybe how many he got?
I did go into a different room, but there were no collars in that room. So I mean there were smaller gadgets that were taken. So yeah, just minor things, I guess. It's not important.
Okay.
But yeah, I didn't see any collars, so
So he took a bunch of blueprints and he took some stuff and he broke some prototypes. Did he take any tools?
Uh,
That is a good question.
yeah, roll, do and assess the situation, but we'll use this as kind of an investigative role to see if you pick up on whether or not anything is missing that you aren't aware of. So roll plus superior.
12.
Perfect. Also 13 mark a potential for that failure.
Oh, yeah.
um
Goody.
all right. So, yeah, you're and you can also ask another question on top of this one if you would like. But as for if he took any tools, yes. There are certain tools that have been developed by Alpha Industries to create their technology, and there are definitely some that are missing. You get the inventory logs that they had prior to the accident and then the ones after, and you're able to piece together that yeah, there are fewer here than there should be.
Okay. I do have another question.
Okay,
Clearly not on that list of questions.
go for it.
Um, judging by the tools that were taken and the equipment that was taken, how much power would be needed to work any of these devices?
Not any more than any like yeah, not any more than you would find in just like a normal building. It's not like super intensive.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're relatively careful about how much energy they're using.
So kind of eco-friendly, more of a like you could operate it out of a house.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So definitely not a lighthouse.
Maybe, maybe not. Who
I don't
knows?
know. Lighthouses usually have lower power grids.
I mean, it's a comic book, and I don't think they're, you know. I mean,
they're-
regardless, whether
they're
or
made
not
of
it's
fire.
actually there is up in
Ooh.
the air. All right.
All right.
Do you share that with your teammates?
Yes, I tell them that some screwdrivers, hammers, tools were missing. Some
right.
adequate ones that are
Yeah,
not in the logs.
some of the specialized tools are
Yeah.
gone.
Arc welder, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay. What does this mean then?
It means that he can possibly make the things on the blueprints that he has. He can also augment the weapons that he stole with other things if he knows how to read these.
Not great.
No, not good at all. And the other bad news is I kind of figured out by the stuff he took, he doesn't need any power plants or anything special.
How come?
They don't use a lot of power. They're more eco-friendly than, one would think.
Damn,
evil
being
corporation.
eco-friendly.
How dare they?
The true evil.
I will say my mother was more an ecoist.
Yeah.
Yeah, ecoist.
Yeah, she left behind a legacy of always doing her best to not leave a giant mark on the planet, despite developing a very large company. The company has always taken strides to not put out a whole lot of bad into the ecosystem.
And fun fact, there's a garden on the roof, so
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah, it's nice.
Flower or vegetable?
A bit of both, but it's mainly flowers.
Okay.
It's nice to hang out in the summertime when there's no school.
Yeah, and
Just study.
it's a lot of your mom's favorite flowers. And there's a plaque up there commemorating her. So it's probably a bit of a comfort spot for you.
All right. Yeah. We don't tell 13 about it because vegetables are food and he just eat the flowers.
Yeah. Also, Night Fox, it's getting close to like 2:45.
Tell me how to live my life.
I mean, you get to choose what you do with it, but time's a ticking. And I think you know that getting to the lighthouse will probably take about another 20 minutes.
Yeah. Well.
And then getting back to where you need to work would probably be another 20, 25 minutes.
I don't know, a shadow teleports her.
No. Shadow doesn't know where Night Fox works.
No,
So
but Shadow could teleport us to the lighthouse to save time.
I really don't think the lighthouse is the answer, Cleric.
I don't think it's the answer. I don't think it's exactly where Greg is at the moment, but I think we may be able to get a clue of where he is. Like if we look at some of the equipment left behind in the lighthouse, maybe we'll see where he stole that from, and like we can kind of backtrack, breadcrumbs.
Yeah, and I think Night Fox that given that Greg was working out of the lighthouse, he could have left traces behind. So I think you're able to deduce that it's about the only lead that you have on where he could be. Otherwise, you're just trying to search an entire city and hope that you find him.
What's wrong with that? That sounds great.
Oh yeah,
Get
and
someone
like
with super speed,
the-
they'll be fine.
in the hour that you
yeah.
have left, you're gonna
I
go
was about
door
to
to
say, how
door.
long we got left?
Yeah, but an hour to someone with super speed is like lifetime of door running into.
Yeah, until
Remember the
13
door
then
that I
has
ran
to
into? There may be more
stop
doors.
to refuel.
Listen, at the same time you're running around the city checking things, we'll put up an ad campaign that says remove everyone's doors.
Oh yeah, that'll get done in an hour.
Of course it will.
Okay,
Where
are
does
you
13 get the money to pay for shit?
the school? He's they know about his situation. I mean, he doesn't hide it. But they were able to secure him grants in order to house and feed himself.
It was a very large grant for the food.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
it's the
I
same
mean,
when like a zoo orders food.
yeah, we'll say that 13 has like a sponsor within the Parasol School, so they're a very wealthy individual, so it's not like a big deal.
Cool.
All right, are
Anyway,
you
so we
heading
haven't
to
got
the
long left, have we?
lighthouse? I mean, you
Is
don't
it
know
not
that,
lighthouse?
unless Night
Oh, we
Fox
don't know.
told
We
you.
don't know that, got you?
Yeah, this is
Okay,
just
cool.
that was just for Night Fox, so Night Fox knows that it's getting close to when she needs to go
Cool.
in for her shift.
Not knowing stuff. I love it.
Right. All right, are you guys heading to the lighthouse, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I guess lighthouse. That's what we were planning to do, wasn't it? Unless anyone else has got anything.
Sure,
Would you
yeah, let's
like
go to
me
the
to
lighthouse.
teleport you?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So
All
it's a
right.
roll plus freak.
Yep, unleash your powers.
Awesome.
Cleric clenches his butt.
The 6.
Okay, so that that doesn't do it. However, you guys have a team in the pool. So if you would like to expend that team to make it so that it is successful, albeit with a drawback, that is up to you guys. You can also use it selfishly, Shadow, but you have to like hurt somebody in the process.
Shadow and
Then
13,
just
and the Night
Dex
Fox make it,
Cleric
and
is
Cleric
there.
is in the middle of the ocean. Like, what the hell?
And he goes on the top of the lighthouse, and we're fine.
Yeah, Shadow, if she did use it selfishly and if nobody else gave up a team, she would definitely have 13 and Night Fox land safely while possibly dropping off clerics somewhere, most likely at the top of the lighthouse, like the Night Fox suggested.
So I'm voting for a team use.
All right, how does
I may be
Cleric?
biased.
Oh, I mean, Cleric can do something if Cleric would like to. You can see that Shadow's starting to struggle with the teleportation, so it's visible to all of you that this is going to be a struggle and it might not work.
I guess. Can I just? I don't even know what to do.
I mean, just words of encouragement. You can try to use your powers to help her. It's totally narrative, so it's up to you.
Oh, powers! I can do that. All right. Because if she's struggling, yeah, I can give her a little bit of life force to try to prop up and make her feel more vital and able to do things. Yes.
Okay, yeah. So that'll put it up to a 7, which means that it is successful, but with a bit of a drawback. So you're aiming for the lighthouse. And you can picture it in your mind, Shadow, because you've been there and you've been inside. You guys were able to successfully get inside. But with how frustrated you are at what's happened with the things that you've been creating, initially you're struggling to get the power that you need to get the teleportation off. And then you suddenly get like a weird little boost. Like you kind of are like jerk away as Cleric kind of just like touches your shoulder and gives you that little bit of boost. And so the teleportation goes off, but you don't quite wind up where you want to be. Rather than ending up at the lighthouse, you guys wind up nearby on the docks. but you still have to make your way into the lighthouse. And like you appear in the middle of a bunch of people, and they all kind of like, "Whoa!" And then they see that you're in costume, they're like, "Oh," and then they'll go about their business.
Ah, cool. We made it. Let's head to the lighthouse. We at least chopped off 20 minutes of travel.
I was very tempted to push Cleric into the water, but holds off. Seeing as there's all these people there, wouldn't want to.
Wouldn't want to get somebody else wet just because of the off splash from Cleric. Like, gosh.
I look at Shadow going, what? Anyway.
Yeah, so you guys you head up to the lighthouse to get inside. There's it's like not much of an issue. You're able to kind of just show anybody that might get in your way, like, hey, we're heroes, we're here to investigate. So you head into the lighthouse, and you get up to the main room where Greg was in the first issue. There's still, like, the monitors are there, but a lot of stuff has been cleared out. So if you would like to try to figure out if you can find where Greg went, I will need an assess the situation.
Alright, I guess I'll do it.
Yeah, that probably
I'm
makes
happy to do
sense.
it.
I think narratively it probably makes more sense for Cleric to get there first and start looking.
That makes it. Yeah.
13 would be right behind him though, so
But why?
I'm ready.
Yeah, 13 wouldn't do it. He doesn't know anything about Gorg or whatever his name is, Geg.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think it was Greg. It was Greg. No, Fox. It was Greg.
yeah, so 13 initially like rushes in and is like eager to start looking for stuff, and then it's like, oh wait, no, these guys don't know, and so you kind of try to play it off, like you weren't totally just super anxious to get in there. And then Cleric will come in and actually start looking at stuff. So go ahead and roll to assess the situation.
I got a 4.
We are
Well,
rolling good tonight.
Hey, that gives me my 5th potential.
Yeah, there you go. You get to take another thing. So let me know what you would like to do with that once we wrap up this scene. So yeah, you're looking and you're looking and you just you can't figure it out. Like, you can see that there's definitely signs that he was here. Like, they haven't really gone through and cleared everything out yet, but there's just, like, you can't figure out a location, and it's frustrating and frustrating and frustrating, and then you kind of just have to give up. Like, okay, can't find anything.
Dang it, I know he's been here. I'm not seeing anything. It's a dead end.
Does anyone else see anything?
I guess I could assess the situation.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and give me that roll. Roll plus superior.
Superior is 1, but I have a -2 because I have guilty conscious.
Yes.
So I'm down 1, so I got a 9.
Okay, that is still good enough to ask one question. So what would you like to? What do you think your assessment would bring you to find?
You said there was some monitors and some other stuff left behind.
Yeah.
Where are any of these things special to whereas they were stolen from someplace?
I'm gonna say that in fact, the fact that they're not super special, kind of makes no to you. Like anybody could go and buy these or take them. Um, but I will say that you know of the general store that would probably keep these in stock. And so you're able to deduce that, and you know that that area is in the lower downtown of Halcyon City. So a little ways away from where you are, but that general area.
Okay. All right. Well, team. The equipment here doesn't seem to be. It's not high tech. It's not low tech. It's like mid tech. So it looks like it's just from one of the um, the regular kind of stores. And the closest one to here is on the lower side of the downtown area. Couple.
Yeah, you're
Couple
able to,
blocks.
like, you know the store, so you could.
Yeah, it's called Better Buy.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, you could try to call him Hatter.
Well, now I want to. I'd like to try to call Greg.
All right.
Just frustration to be like, I'm just gonna try calling him.
Okay. I'm gonna have you roll to pierce the mask for this one. See if he picks up and if you're able to get anything out of him. So roll plus mundane.
They have a +1 in Monday, so that's nice.
Yeah.
8.
Okay.
100.
Yeah, so you call and it's ringing and it's ringing and it's ringing and then click and he'll pick up and he'll be like,
Oh.
"Well, hey cleric, did you get my note?"
Greg, did I wake you up? It's like 5 in the evening.
It's only like 3 o'clock. And no, I didn't just wake up. I've just been busy.
Busy stealing from Alpha Industries? Yes, I got your note.
Please, Russell. I took care of that weeks ago.
What are you doing? Why? Why do you even get all this stuff? A
I
banjo, Greg? Was a banjo necessary?
The banjo. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, when the banjo is producing super awesome sonic waves that could potentially knock a bunch of people off their feet. Yeah. I would say that it's pretty important.
I mean, that sounds like any other banjo, but alright.
And I will say with a 9, you can ask one of the questions below the pierce the mask. What are you really planning? What do you want me to do? What do you intend to do? How could I get your character to blank? Or how could I gain influence over you?
Let me do. What are you really planning?
Yeah, I feel like you were kind of going in that direction anyways.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so he's like, well, I told you. Alpha Industries is developing all of this tech, all of this weaponry, all of these collars, trying to make us lesser than normal people. And I intend to utilize it against them.
You don't have to do this, Greg.
What, would you rather be collared and shackled? Kept down just because you have powers? We should be embracing these. We could do whatever we want. We could have whatever we wanted. But there are people that are going to get in the way. And I'm going to get rid of them before they get rid of me.
You're hurting people, Greg. What about all the people that were in the Alpha Industries building when you robbed it?
Yeah, what about all the people in the Alpha Industries building? Please. They're all contributing to this.
They're just people. They have families to feed. They have wants and desires. It's just a job.
Everybody's got family. Everybody's got people that they need to take care of. I'm looking out for me. If they're dumb enough to stand in my way, then I will get rid of them. It's not like I killed them. They'll be fine.
Good to know where your line is.
Oh, I'm not beyond taking enough to get them out of the way permanently. But it wasn't necessary. And I didn't really want, well, you know. That's a bit of a weight on the conscience for people that used to be in medical school, I guess. Even if I never wanted to be there in the first place.
Are you just rebelling against your dad for all this?
Oh, no, I rebelled against my dad when I killed him. But, sure. That's what
what?
this is.
Wait. Can we backtrack for a little bit? You killed your dad?
Yeah.
Oh.
And we hear this conversation, or is it just
You're only
Medic?
hearing Cleric's side of this, so...
Cleric. Yeah, cool.
He's like, no, I didn't kill my dad. Jeez. I hate him. I didn't actually kill him.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see that in the newspaper, and I tried to read that, so I was just a little surprised.
No, me and my father have reached an understanding.
Still a little worried about how you said that, but all right. You still living at home?
That's none of your business.
I mean, I was just curious. You're not going to superhero school. You're not in the pre-med school. Like, just wondering where you hang out all day. I mean,
Yeah, right. You're trying to figure that out because you care, not because you want to come and take all of the things that I just stole.
you know, I was just thinking that we've got so much in common that we should try to hang out at some point. Catch up. Haven't really talked to you since school, but besides the whole lighthouse incident. Sorry about the sewer, by the way.
I mean, it's fine. I don't really care. Look, if you... I guess if you want to talk, we could find... Well, we'll give this some time to blow over. And then we can talk.
Like you said, it's been weeks since the robbery. I mean, I'm just asking for, coffee.
Yet you just barely contacted me. Look, Russell, I know I was never the top of the class. I never intended to be. But that doesn't mean that I'm completely incompetent. I know what you're trying to do, and you're not going to stop me.
I'm just want to talk to you. Try to understand. But fine, if you're gonna keep going down this path, I have to fight you.
I know. I've known that since the beginning.
We don't have to fight anyone, do we? You hear me in the background.
Not like that. Are your teammates?
I just wave at him like, shush, I'm on the phone.
Yeah, and I think that he hears 13 and is like, yeah, I knew it. Look, we've been opposites from day one. And that's just how it is. And that's how it's going to continue to be. And if you're going to be one of the people standing in my way, well, I already told you what happens to them. and then he'll click hang up the phone.
God dang it, 13.
What did I do?
I feel like I was close to potentially making a breakthrough, and then he knew that you were here, and it was for a work thing, and
What the work thing? Could have just been hanging. I don't. I'm sorry. Where's my burger?
you ate
13
it
produces
already.
yet another
Oh.
burger from out of his pocket. 13's got his phone out and is like calling an Uber Eats to the lighthouse.
Shadow would tap. Shadow would tap 13 on the back. Just be like, "It's okay. You're okay."
Claire,
No,
did you
look,
find
look.
out where he is?
Not for sure, but he was a little hesitant to say that he wasn't at his childhood home, which makes me think he very well might be. I mean, it's a big house. His dad's a famous doctor, so there's plenty of room for him to do a whole bunch of stuff. So it might be our next best lead.
Okay.
Hey,
Big
Tuff,
house or big
where
rooms?
where does Greg live?
We'll say that Greg's father, we'll call him Dr. Paulson. He he doesn't live in, like a total giant mansion or anything like that, but his house is very large. And reflects the amount of money that he makes after. Oh God.
Yes.
Yeah. So they have a sizable home in a more affluential suburb neighborhood, which is gonna be a little ways away from the dogs. I think it would still be near the water, but rather than being where the boats come in to drop off imports, it's definitely more beach house, so waterfront property.
So now we've got the computers are just from Better Buy, or in the lower end neighborhood, or we've got Dr. Paulson's house in the higher end neighborhood.
Yep.
Oh.
It's also about like 3:15.
Thanks, magical clock.
You're welcome.
Oh, yeah, I see the sun's getting low. I gotta go, guys. I'll see you later.
Where are you going?
I have to go shopping
Oh.
At Better Buy?
for girl stuff. Goodbye. And I call a taxi.
Okay, so while you're calling a taxi, you're still here.
Yep.
Wait. What about this? Are we done? Are we done?
Well, there's 2 places to go, so you guys should clearly split up and check those places, then call each other and make sure everything's good.
But then there are 3 of us and be split
It'd
up between
Be better
2.
if we,
Right.
yeah, the 4.
Yeah, then 2, 2. 2. Yeah, 2, 2, 4.
Wiki, are you okay?
You don't know who's a character in real life. So I'm very tired. Anyway, but I'm playing into it. It's fine. Concussion. But yeah. But why do you just need to go now? Can't you wait later? Like I thought we were.
No, I have to go now. It's a thing.
A girl thing.
Yep.
Okay, well then, can Shadow go with you, and y'all maybe after you're done with whatever shopping trip you're doing, go to Better Buy and check that out?
Sure.
Cool. Then 13's with me, and we'll go check out Dr. Paulson's house.
Yep. Sounds good.
Dr. Daddy. What?
No.
No, I'm not going to. I'm
A
not gonna say
mystical
that
hand
again.
appears and decks 13 across the face. Kidding.
A magic clock.
Yeah, the magic clock appears and just.
It just slaps me.
It's like Miss Minutes from Loki.
Yeah. Okay. So 13 and Cleric, you guys are able to get transportation to Dr. Paulson's Manor. We'll say that your ride gets there first, so you guys take off. Night Fox and Shadow, you guys are left. So how are you gonna shake off Shadow, Night Fox?
Hey, Shadow.
Hey, Night Fox.
So I'm a little bit more comfortable with you than the other two. I don't know if you ever noticed that.
I feel the same about you.
Perfect. Are you stable enough to handle this on your own?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can go off and do your thing, and I'll cover
Alright.
for you.
Thanks. If you get in any trouble, call or text me and I'll be right there.
All right.
Thanks.
No problem.
All right.
Us girls gotta stick together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys wrap that up. Night Fox's taxi will arrive to pick you up and take you to work. And then Shadow can head to the Better Buy that is nearby. So 13 and Cleric, you guys get dropped off at Dr. Paulson's. It's got like one of those like gates in front of it, like it's totally fenced off. So you have to like buzz to try to get in. And the like we'll say it's probably like a butler answers and it's like yes, hello.
Hi, I'm Cleric. This is 13. We're friends of Greg. He invited us over to work on some stuff for school. He's helping us out with a project. So can we come in and talk to him?
Well, Master Greg has not been home for several weeks now.
Gosh dang it! Did he give us the wrong address? Typical Greg. Do you know where you're staying these days? I have this address down. I may have written down the wrong one.
How do you know Greg? And
Oh,
you're
school. We were in the pre-med school together. Back before all the exciting things happened. But I'm at Parasol Academy now, and just I reached out to Greg for a project that we're working on about origin stories and all that fun stuff for English class. Was going to get his opinion on some stuff. So he told me to meet him here, but I guess if he's not here, I'll go to wherever he is.
okay. He is going to. We're gonna see how much he believes you.
Ooh.
If I can find dice.
Is Cleric a good liar? We shall see.
Next time in. Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, he totally believes you.
Yes.
That was a whopping 2. Technically a 3.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, really, really good.
That's right.
He's like,
Cleric with his
oh.
sweet talking.
He actually recognizes you, Cleric, and he's like, oh yes, of course. You were always so good to Master Greg, trying to help him with his studies. Yes, of course. He's well, his relationship with Dr. Paulson has always been a little strained, of course, but We do have an address for him. He's currently staying in the call them the Golden Tower apartments in the lower downtown area. Do you need a more specific address than that? I know that a lot of GPS units will be able to locate it.
That should be fine. Do you know what unit specifically? If not, I can just talk to the doorman when we're there. But save a little time.
Yeah, I'm afraid I don't know the exact specifics. I just know that he's in those buildings.
Okay, great. Well, I will call him on our way there, just so he knows not to go over here. And thank you so much for your help. Really
Yes, yes,
appreciate it.
of course. Thank you. Do uh take care of him. And then the buzzer will go off. So
Cool. Well, that worked. All right. Now to the Golden Tower apartments. I'm glad we have this car.
yeah, the car that's still waiting there. All right. So Shadow, you're heading to the Better Buy that is nearby. What are you planning on doing there? Just trying to figure out if anything was stolen or...
Yeah, I'll ask the clerk some questions. See if maybe a person who matched Greg's description purchased anything recently there.
Yeah, so you head up to like the customer service desk, and the person sitting there like just doesn't really seem to care. So you're asking her all these questions, and she's just like, no, yeah, no. And she'll eventually get across to you that Greg didn't purchase anything, but he did come in and steal the monitors and computer towers that he used in the lighthouse.
Alrighties. Do you know things?
I know a lot of things.
Things.
Yes.
She'll like blow she has like a piece of gum in her mouth and she'll blow a bubble and pop it and then just go back to like loudly chewing. What things?
Do you know where this person came from or where they would have left? Is there any security footage I can look at?
Well, I guess you're like a superhero, so sure, I'll see if my manager will show you the security footage. Actually, oh man, do we even have it anymore? And she'll like get on the intercom and page for a manager. The manager will walk up and she'll escort you into another room where the security footage is kept. She has to dig through the files a little bit to get one from a few weeks ago because that's a bit of a lengthy time. But they kept this one on record because they sent it out to the police because so much was stolen. And so it's mostly just inside the building. So you see Greg enter, you see him grab a bunch of stuff and start to walk towards the door. Somebody comes to stop him and then they just collapse. And then he walks back out again. And there's an outside one and you can see him going to the left, but he gets out of view before you can really tell where he's going.
Alright. Can I take a copy of this to share with my teammates?
Yeah, she'll get a USB drive for you and upload the file onto it and hand that over.
Thank you. Shadow would take it and put it in a pocket in her suit where she holds stuff.
Cool.
And then, yeah.
All right. And then we can say that you probably get in contact with Cleric and 13, and they tell you that they found Greg, at least where they assume that he's currently living. Night Fox, you get to go to work. Lucky
Yay,
you. So you're a waitress, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so you're scheduled for about a 4-hour shift.
Yay.
So you're meant to be there until 8 p.m. You get there on time. You gave yourself enough of a time budget to get there and to be able to change before going in. So you start your shift. 13 Cleric and Shadow will say that you guys rendezvous outside of the Better Buy because it's actually pretty close to the Golden Tower apartments. And then you guys can head over there. The Golden Tower apartments are actually not very like towers at all. It's a pretty small apartment complex. So there's like the buzzer at the bottom of the stairs, and there's names next to all of them. And you can spot one that says Paulson.
Hey, wait, where's Night Fox?
She left something at school, so she had to pop off to go get something. It's very quick. She'll be back, don't worry. Fine.
Oh, okay.
The girl thing, okay, so just don't ask anything.
And Cleric blushes.
I have the security footage from the Better Buy if you want to see it.
Yeah, I guess we might as well watch it. Double
Yeah.
check
Well,
that it is Greg, but though we kind of know it's Greg, so I don't know.
yeah. You were able to get the file uploaded onto your phone, Shadow, so you guys all kind of watch the videotape back. And yeah, it was Greg. He wasn't even like trying to hide that it was him.
Greg.
Big sigh. But yeah, you guys can head over to the apartments. It does look like Greg does live there, based on the nameplate next to one of the buzzers. He lives on like the 4th floor.
Okay, so should we just buzz the apartment, or should we try the New Yorker route and buzz all the apartments, and maybe one of them will let us in?
Why not buzz a neighbor and then just force our way in?
I hit all the buttons.
13's like you guys are talking about this, and 13's like, "Ooh, what do these do?" Like the scene in Elf when they're in the elevator and he just starts pushing all of the buttons. That's what 13 does.
100%.
So you get a bunch of very irritated people.
Thank you.
All at the same time, like, what? Who is it? What do you want?
Delivery!
Well, since you did hit all of the buttons, there was one person that was expecting a delivery, so they will buzz you in.
That surprisingly worked. Okay, 13. FYI, for the future, maybe don't do that.
But it worked.
Well, yeah, do you know how it worked?
By my genius.
Shadow
Just
would reach up and pat 13 on the head and then like pull out a lollipop from her pocket of things and just give it to him, and it's like, you did
Ooh.
good, it's okay.
Lolly. What? Yeah. Sure.
Lollipop. All right. You guys heading up to Greg's apartment, or?
Yeah. When we get there, can I see how many people are in his apartment? Life force and all that? I haven't used that yet this time.
No, you haven't. So you get up to, I mean, you're walking by and you can see, you know, there are a variety of people on each floor. You get to the fourth floor and it doesn't look like there's anyone in there.
It doesn't look like anybody's in here, guys. So this may be a good time to scope the place out.
I'll kick the door
go.
down.
All right, yeah. Shadow just immediately, as soon as Cleric's like, all right, well, I guess we can look. Boom, and in goes the door.
Cleric is doing a lot of sighing on this trip.
So Shadow, you bust down the door and standing like hunched over a pot of like ramen noodles with like the fork halfway up to his mouth and just like in his underwear is Greg. And he just kind of stops and looks at you guys, and then just like the noodles slowly fall out of his mouth and back into the pot. He's like, well, shit.
Wait, so do I not see his life force?
He appears to be dampening it so that you cannot see it.
Ooh.
How rude. Hi, Greg. I didn't think you were home. But hey, so you want that coffee?
Great. He'll kind of just like put the pot down, put the fork back in it, and be like, get out of my house.
I can't do that. You're under arrest for theft. We have video evidence of you stealing computers and stuff, and we know you're the one behind the theft at Alpha Industries, so we have to take you in.
Well, that's gonna be a problem. And I think he kind of looks between the three of you, and I think ultimately he settled. Well, so Cleric's probably first in the door. He'll target Shadow because she's the one that kicked down the door. And he's gonna start draining your life force, Shadow. So I would like you to roll to take a powerful blow. As he's standing there in his heart boxer's underwear and ready for a showdown. So that's Is there what?
Is it anything to take a powerful blow?
You roll plus your conditions.
So I have 2 conditions, so that would be +2, right?
Yep.
Okay. And we want a low score for this.
Yep.
Okay. Nine.
All right. So, do you lash out verbally, provoking a teammate to foolhardy action, or take advantage of your influence to inflict a condition? Do you give ground, giving your opposition an opportunity, or do you struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions?
I'd probably struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions. One being probably afraid because of drawing away the life force.
Yeah, it's very unpleasant. And yeah, you're starting to feel weaker, and you can just feel that like something is leaving you, but you like can't really comprehend what it is. But yeah, your life is being drained. And then hopeless, or I would say hopeless probably makes a little bit more sense than insecure.
Yeah, I was gonna say hopeless too.
Because yeah, Greg is powerful. All right. So, Greg is currently sucking the life out of Shadow. 13, Cleric Shadow, what are you doing?
I'm doing.
I'm gonna try to suck life force, or I'm gonna try to pump Shadow full of life force.
Okay.
Wait, no, don't put out Elf Shadow.
roll to I'll give you the choice. You can either roll to unleash your powers or you can roll to defend.
What are the bonuses for those?
So unleash your powers is narrative. I will tell you what happens. Defend, you get to pick from a list of. Well, so.
Well, yeah, but I meant what label goes with each.
Unleash your powers is freak. Defend is savior.
I think I'm gonna go savior because that one gets me a better bonus.
Okay. And you also have influence over shadow, so that is an extra +1 as well. Wait, do you have influence over shadow?
I do. No. Wait,
No,
yeah.
you
No,
do
we
not.
took it.
Yeah, you
We
do
took
not
it
have.
off last time.
Yeah, okay, so you don't have that extra +1. So
Well, it
rolling
would have helped you,
savior
Shadow.
+2.
Okay, I got a 7 plus 2, so 9.
A 9. Alright. So, do you expose yourself to danger, or do you escalate the situation?
I exposed myself to danger.
Alright. And then, do you want to add a team to the pool? Do you want to take influence over shadow, or do you don't have a condition? So it's up to you. Also, I think you guys are entering combat. So
What?
No, I don't believe you.
who
Jeez.
do you guys think is the leader?
Oh God.
I think at this moment, me.
Well, how do you want to? Who are you asking first? First, like in order, or
Let's start with Shadow. Shadow, who do you think is the leader?
I'm guessing Night Fox does not count in this case.
She can.
she can. She's still.
I mean, whether she's
Somewhere.
not exactly leading you right now, but if you still just view her as the team leader in general, then that's
Yeah, in general, Shadow would view Night Fox as the team leader.
okay.
She wouldn't think either 13 or definitely not Cleric as leader material, and she definitely does not think that she's leader material.
Okay. Cleric, what about you?
Since Night Fox isn't here and this is going against my nemesis and whatnot, I feel Cleric would think he's the team leader at this moment.
Okay. What about you, 13?
100% cleric.
Okay. But everybody does not agree. All right.
I don't get a vote.
You're not involved in the battle.
I'm still part of the
You're doing
team.
women
Though.
stuff.
Who do you think's the leader of the Night Fox?
The person that is
My
not present.
manager, I mean,
I
Yeah.
believe that it is the giant all-telling clock.
Yes,
that keeps slapping
obviously.
me.
All right. Cleric, you do not have influence over everybody going into this fight. Everyone does. I don't think anybody has an ulterior motive in this fight. Well, I mean, 13 could. This is your dad. So if everybody's working to defeat Greg, you maybe aren't trying to do that, but that's up to you.
Do I need to state what I want to do, or?
I mean, I think that for Shadow and Cleric, this is definitely going to be a battle to take Greg down. Is that what you're also trying to do?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm conflicted because, like you said, this is my version of what I recognize as my dad. But it doesn't seem like the dad that I know, or the father figure that I know.
I mean,
what's going
your motive could be to try to reason with him and try to get him to not be doing the things that he's doing.
That would be what I would like to do.
Okay. I think that still lines up enough with what everybody else is doing to count as everybody having the same purpose.
Cool.
Awesome. Does anybody mistrust the leader, which I think is currently standing at Cleric as the leader? Because we had a 2 out of 3.
Shadow mistrusts
Okay.
Cleric.
All right.
Cleric also mistrusts cleric.
I don't mistrust cleric. If that matters.
Yay,
So we're
13.
back down to 2. Do you think you guys are ill prepared or off balance for this fight?
I think we're off balance.
What gives you that
and we
idea?
weren't expecting him to be in the room.
Yeah. Okay. So you
Is
guys
that
have
sarcastic? There, tough.
what?
Do you guys think you're a bit
No.
underprepared?
Okay. So you guys had 3. You're down to 1. Cleric, as the de facto leader in this moment, you are able to mark conditions if you don't want to remove that many teams from the pool. So for each condition you mark, I will return a team to the pool up to 3.
I want to go ahead and put a team to the pool for doing the defense.
Okay.
And then I think I am going to mark a condition
Okay.
to add 1.
Okay, so we'll put you back up to 3. What condition are you thinking?
I'm torn between afraid and insecure.
I think afraid would probably make more sense, as like you're
Yeah.
entering this fight and then your teammate is immediately like starting to kind of collapse under Greg's power, which like I mean you've
Yeah.
seen Greg in action, but this is a little bit more extreme than what you've normally seen him doing.
Yeah, so I'm gonna mark
this
afraid.
this is gonna be a fun fight.
Now I'm definitely afraid. Hatter
Go
is
team,
afraid.
go.
All right. So, Cleric, you added a team to the pool and you managed to, yeah, you successfully are able to basically counteract what Greg is doing. However, while you're distracted sending your life force into shadow, he is going to start leeching off of yours. So you are losing in 2 directions, so I will need you to roll to take a powerful blow.
Is this visible? What's happening? Like, can I see what's happening? Like,
There's no like visible manifestation of what's happening, but you see Shadow kind of like huh, and kind of curl in on herself as Greg looks at her and just kind of puts his hands up like this, and like you can tell that something's wrong. And then you see Cleric reach out and put a hand on Shadow, and Shadow kind of is able to get back up. And then you see Cleric start to sag, like a lot.
okay, I want to shout something out. I shout out, "Stop, Dad!"
Oh, snap.
Also, Night Fox would choose maybe about this moment to text Shadow to see if everything's okay.
Yeah. So first, Hatter, I'm gonna have you roll that powerful blow, then we'll resolve the thing with Craig.
Well, I was actually thinking about using one of my Doom sign powers.
Okay.
Infinite power. Mark your Doom track to use an ability from any playbook 1 time. I was thinking legacies, never give up, never surrender.
All right, hang on. Let me find that. Someone with far greater power than you use this move instead of the basic move. Roll plus saber on a hit. You stand strong and choose 1 on a 7 and 9 market condition. Okay.
Cool. So let's see what happens. Oh, thank goodness I got an 11.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. Choose.
If I choose the get an opportunity or opening against your attacker, that just means I get to attack them, right?
Yeah, so you'd get to make a move against them. So
Okay, then I think I'm gonna do that and try to suck life force out of Greg.
okay.
Right, did my shout out actually happen, or what, or is everyone just ignoring it?
Yeah, it's
well, no,
coming.
it's coming. But
No, I wasn't sure. I
we're
wasn't sure if it was a case of like, oh, anyway, let's
no,
carry
no, no,
on.
no. This was where you're
Like what,
watching.
like 13th Avenue, one of his moments.
Yeah, so
again.
we're gonna say that you're watching this, and I think it makes narrative sense that as Cleric starts to try to attack Greg back,
Cool,
that might
that's
be the
fine.
moment that you lash out. So we're gonna have Cleric roll to unleash your powers.
That's fine. That's fine. I wasn't
So
sure if
much
it was a case of
rolling, this
what's
is
having
not
his
gonna go
moment
well.
again.
So roll plus.
I got an 8.
Okay.
It's a success, even if it's not perfect. It's a
Well,
success. I am so happy.
I'm gonna say that this is an extreme situation. So Greg starts to take your life forces, you're helping Shadow, but once you see that Shadow's ready, you turn and it's you and Greg battling it out, trying, like, both of you are trying to take each other's, and you're kind of reaching this, like, stalemate. Ultimately, you start to win, but you start taking more than you thought you would. And Greg starts falling and dropping, and then he hits his knees, and then his shoulder hits the floor, and you're kind of losing control of your power. And then in that moment, 13 yells, "Stop, Dad." And I think that manages to cut it off before you're able to do, like, serious damage to Greg. And Greg will start to push himself up, but he is now afraid after that. So 13, you shout out, "Stop, Dad." And like, I don't think Greg thinks that you're talking to him, so he's just, like, trying to get back up, and he's kind of looking at Cleric, and he's like, "What?"
Like, it's looking at Greg as
just
well.
like he's, like, very obviously just been a little bit drained, and he's, like, confused about what was being said. So are you gonna do anything else, 13?
No, because I'm gonna realize what I said and said it out loud, and I'm going, oh,
Shit.
I haven't had a plan after this.
Well, shit. I didn't think that I'd get this
Didn't
far.
think I'd go get this far.
Yep. Shadow, what are you doing?
Shadow is angry about Greg taking her family company's stuff, and mostly angry that he took her suit, which she didn't tell her friends about. Also angry that he was draining her life force, and that made her think back to when Cleric was draining her father's life force in the past issue, right?
Yep.
And with all that bottled up rage, she'll attempt to, like, teleport closer to him to, like, really get a forceful, like, if he's still on the ground, she'll, like, knee him in the face.
Trying to knee Greg in the face?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. For a second I was like, wait, are you trying to talk about Cleric, or
No, Greg.
maybe we'll say
Tempting.
that your gauntlet, you activate that and it pulls something off of Greg's counter, just like maybe like the fork he was using to eat or something like that. And then you just boom, swing your hand down. So I'm gonna have you roll to directly engage a threat. So roll plus danger.
Is that minus any conditions, or does any condition...
You are afraid, so you are at a -2.
Okay. So it's a 4.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, it's a 4.
Okay. You do actually have 3 team in the pool, so if you wanted to expend all of your team to make that a 7, then it would be more of a success. But that's up to you guys. You don't have to.
Sure.
Gonna use all of them?
How will that affect me?
Well, that means that you can't add any more +1s in the future.
Oh, you know what? My rolls have been terrible anyway. So in the future?
Yeah, you currently only have 3 team total in the pool.
Oh. Oh, so this isn't like resets or anything.
No, you have to re-add it back. You get 1 at the start of every session, and then when you enter combat, that's why I asked those questions, is to determine how much team you have. You guys are going into this with 3.
Oh.
You started with 1, you got 2 more, and then you lost those 2, and then you got them back.
Oh damn. Well. Yeah, sure. Why not? I'm happy. If everyone else is.
Well, it does.
I mean, if this could be a quick battle and not Greg out, that'd be sweet.
I mean, yeah, that's...
Oh, wait, hang on. Wait, what would happen if Shadow was successful?
So with a success on a 7, Shadow can either resist or avoid their blows, she can take something from them, she can create an opportunity for you guys, or she can impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition. So
Okay,
that
that's
just
fine.
means
I'm
that
happy
she
with
will
that.
do something to Greg, and like her and Greg are trading blows right now. So if
Okay.
she goes in and she misses, then Greg is the only one that will be attacking her. She won't succeed.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm happy to go for it if it's gonna stop the battle quicker.
Okay. How do you think you do that? I mean, she's about to punch your dad in the face with a fork on her fists.
Don't punch my dad.
I don't think that would really help.
No, it wouldn't, would it? I want this to stop now. I see your face, tough. I don't know how I would be able to convince.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking maybe we should keep the team in the pool.
I was thinking that too.
Okay.
Just story-wise, I can't think of a reason why we'd be like,
No, I
yeah,
can't.
punch him.
No,
Okay.
that's cool. Makes sense.
Yeah, so Shadow, you were able to teleport over there, but you kind of misjudged where your landing needs to be, so your swing misses. But Greg sees you, and he sees a whole lot of life that he can use to get back up on his feet, and so again, you're gonna feel that nasty pulling as he starts draining your life once again. So you're gonna need to take a powerful blow.
Okay.
And with 4 conditions, it's gonna be really fun to see what happens.
Night Fox is gonna text 13, see what's going on.
Yeah, Night Fox, you're not getting any responses from your teammates. And it's been several minutes. As you're on like one of your breaks.
Pies team.
It's a 9.
A 9, okay. Alright. Well, you can't really mark 2 more conditions. So do you give ground or do you lash out?
I'd like to lash out at 13, who seems to be just standing there watching, not doing anything.
All right, are you gonna try to get him to do something stupid, or are you gonna inflict a condition?
Don't need to be told to do something stupid.
I'm definitely gonna tell him to do something stupid, like, hey, knucklehead over there, get your butt in here and help us. Like, I don't know, super speed and kick him in the nuts or something.
I don't want to hit him. I can't
Sorry,
argue
me.
that.
So I think that Shadow's prompting 13 will, instead of you running in and kicking your dad in the nuts, will have you say, "I can't, that's my dad."
Yep.
And Greg's like, "I don't have a kid."
It's a long story, all right? But you're my dad, I think. Guys, this is my dad. I don't know what's going on.
Really? You tell us this now?
I didn't know what was going on. Didn't you see me last time we saw him? I didn't say a bloody thing. I was just staring for, I don't know how long we were there for.
Yeah, you did stare at me for a long time.
We've been together all afternoon and you didn't say anything?
I didn't want to believe it. I still don't believe it. I don't think this is the dad, the person that I know, but this just looks like my dad. I don't know. I don't get it. And also, like, time travel. Brain puzzle.
Stop.
Wait,
Stop. 13 might be your kid from the future. He's a time traveler.
Well, while you guys have been arguing, Greg has just, like, headed to the door and is just aiming to bolt.
Very casually.
Yeah, just kind of casually strolling out. Like, he grabs a jacket at least off of the coat, like the coat rack by the door.
Grabs his keys.
Yeah,
his wallet.
yeah, grabs his grabs his jacket and his keys off of the rack and is just like booking it towards the door.
Can I attempt to throw the apple at him?
Sure. Are you trying to, like, get him to not leave, or what?
Yeah, to get him to not leave, or hopefully just hit it hard enough that'll knock him out.
Okay.
Because apples hit hard.
I'm gonna say that.
Throwing an apple at my father. How dare you, Sin?
I'm gonna say that you're provoking him.
Okay.
So roll plus superior. But you have a -2, I believe, because you're guilty.
Awesome. So it's plus nothing. Come on, big roll. 11.
Awesome. Yeah. You throw the apple at him, it hits him in the head, and he was trying to run away, because he got a little bit freaked out. But as the apple hits him, he, like, whips around and is back to wanting to get revenge on the person that has now thrown an apple at his head and kick down his door. And his nemesis is also there. And also this weird guy that is trying to say that he's his kid or something like that, and he just doesn't understand because he doesn't have a kid and he doesn't know what to think about this. So he's not really sure what to make of 13. But Shadow and Cleric, he's definitely, like, rip-roaring ready to go.
I was like, I was saving that apple for Cleric, but I had to use it now.
Okay, 13. What are you doing?
I don't know. I don't know. I genuinely don't know what I would do.
I mean, you can directly engage a threat in a more social aspect, I'll say. So if you want to try to convince him, like, no, I'm really, like, I'm from the future, you're my dad, like, you want to try to convince him of that, you can try to do that. You can try to comfort him.
No, I think that sounds good. I think that's what I would try to do. Try to convince him. is my dad, even though or a version of my dad.
Okay.
Because I don't quite recognize him, but he looks like my dad. I will. Would I have a picture of my dad? I would think yes. Or was that too convenient that I have a picture of my dad in like my wallet or something?
I'm gonna say that you probably didn't bring back a lot from the future because you don't know if what you bring back could cause more harm than good. So it was primarily like just your costume that you were wearing.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I don't think that you would have
No,
anything like that on
makes
you.
sense. That's fine. I can do a drawing.
This
Do a
is
really
what I
bad
remember
sketch.
my dad looking like, and it's like a stick figure.
No, it'd be like in Scott Pilgrim. Have you
Oh.
seen this person? It's like, oh yeah, Ramona. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like you're my dad. I don't get it. I travel back in time to stop things happening. You said not to do it, but then you allowed me. But you were very anti-powers, and the world was crap. You said powers were bad, and now you're here, and your name is Greg. I didn't know what, but also you're slightly different. But also you look like him. You're my dad. Hi, I'm your son. That's by the way, my arms out isn't for a hug. It's just me just going. I don't know what to do going
Like,
on.
you're my dad. You're my dad.
Yeah.
Oogie boogie woogie.
Yeah, woogie woogie.
All right. Okay. I will call that directly engaging a threat because you're trying to get him to stop fighting you guys. So roll plus danger. And you
Cool,
are
0.
angry, guilty, and insecure.
Well, I don't know if that's good or not. 9?
Okay. So
Your name is Dad.
yeah, so I think narratively I think you surprise him.
I think I would as well.
Yeah, as you're just like blurting all of this out and he's just kind of standing there like what the hell is going on? I don't and he kind of like rubs his forehead and he's like I don't okay. So if you're my kid, then how about you help me out here with these people that are trying to attack me?
No, that's not how it works. I'm not here to help you. Wait, am I? Wait, hang on.
Well, I can't exactly have a kid if I'm in jail.
I don't know. That might be where it happens. I don't know. I should be here. I should not be interfering with this. I could be messing around with time and space. My head hurts. I need a burger.
We're not trying to fight you, Greg. I wanted to talk to you. Can we stop and talk, Shadow?
He'll kind of like deep breath in, deep breath out. Fine. But he does just like stand in the doorway. He's like ready to try to bolt at any given second. Is anybody gonna answer Night Fox? You guys could probably check your phones now if you need to.
It's still ringing.
Yeah, yeah, Shadow, you get another bzz, 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 as your phone's going off.
Do you leave like a voicemail or something?
Shadow will answer her phone, text Night Fox. Everything's good. It's totally fine. It's okay. No need to worry.
In those exact words. Everything's good, everything's fine, you don't need to worry.
It's been ringing for like 15 or minutes or something. And it's like, oh yeah, just yeah, don't worry, we're all good. Cheers. Love you.
Okay, so I know where I stand, and I just with Greg. But 13 would you be so kind as to enlighten all of us of what exactly is going on?
If I knew that, I would have said. All I know is when we came to first see Greg, I didn't say anything. I was staring. And the reason why was because this person is my dad. Or someone who looks very, 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 very much like him.
Well, you know
but
your dad's name is Greg. That you've
I
heard
also
people
know
call
my
him
name.
that.
Dad's name is Greg as well.
Yeah,
He just came to me.
you're aware of that.
But I don't want to believe it. And also I don't know how to process it because I was like, I wasn't expecting it. And then I forgot about it.
You
And-
forgot?
Well, how I cope with these things is by eating. So that's how I've been coping. And yeah, I also didn't want to think about it. But we are here, and I don't know how, and I don't know what version of my dad this is, but this is my dad. And me just saying that and being here may mess a lot of things up, which I don't understand.
Does 13 look like his dad? Like, would we have noticed a similarity?
I think that now that it's been pointed out to you, like you can see some family resemblance there. They don't look like exactly alike. I think 13 maybe took a bit more after his mom, but you can definitely see that there is a little bit that looks like Greg in there as well.
Is it the cat ears?
Yeah, it's the cat ears.
Night Fox would also like to leave work early for a family emergency.
Okay. Yeah, you go to your manager and you're like, I have a family emergency. However, your manager is maybe gonna see through that because you don't have family in Halcyon.
I mean, shit.
Yeah. So she's like, "What do you mean family emergency? Where are you going? Are they like they're not in Halcyon? Where do you have to go back to your family?
Yes.
Yes.
Like what happened? I mean, like I can't just let you be gone for a week at a time if like did somebody die or
They are on the brink of it, and I have to be there.
okay, well I can't give you bereavement if they're just on the brink.
Right. So this is my last time to say goodbye, though.
Okay. You're gonna have to put in for a leave of absence. So you're gonna need to fill out some paperwork. So I need you to come with me real quick so we can get all of that. And I guess I'll talk to Caroline about covering your shifts. And she'll take you in the back and you get to start filling out the paperwork.
Woo, paperwork.
Yay! So while Night Fox is currently being detained by her boss so that she doesn't get fired for just leaving and has to do all of the LOA paperwork. Which is also going to be very fun because you're totally lying.
Yeah, I got this.
Greg is kind of still shooketh from what 13 is saying, and he's like, I have a kid, okay. I didn't ever really plan on having kids, but okay. Look, if let's just say that I believe this. The way that you sound like you're describing me doesn't sound like me. So maybe I'm not your dad. You know, if there's like multiple universes or something, maybe this is the one where I don't have you.
I could be. I genuinely don't know. All I know is you look at my dad. I just get that feeling, and it's just like you're like my dad, but also not like my dad. And I just I can't understand that at the moment. It's very confusing. But all I know is it's just just I know what I know is I don't know. That's what I know.
Okay.
Query. Shadow had gotten a bit drained before Greg tried to leave. Is she okay? Do I need to do any healing?
No, she's fine.
Very cool.
Speaking of Shadow, while 13 is talking with Greg about being his father and whatnot, and after she had texted the Night Fox, she's gonna go through her phone to find her father's contact and just send him a quick text saying, "I'm sorry." And that's it.
Okay. There's no response for that text, at least for now. He's probably busy or something like that. Given the time of day, it's very possible that he's in a meeting or, something along those lines. So it might be a bit before he checks his phone. Greg will kind of like rub his temples and be like, okay, I don't want to talk about the future stuff anymore. What do you want?
Okay, you're right. The future stuff is just very confusing, and I don't want to screw up the future. So look, what if you give us all the stuff you stole from Alpha Industries, and we'll return it, and we'll just call this a wash and try again some other time. I think you're going to. I understand what you're trying to do. I think you're going about it the wrong way, and we should grab that coffee at some point and try to talk and find better ways to channel your energies.
I don't have it.
Say it again.
I don't have it.
What? What do you mean you don't have it?
I mean, I don't have it. Why would I need it? I have powers. I mean, I stole it, yeah, but I mean, I'm not gonna use that.
Did you sell it?
Maybe.
To who?
None of your business.
And Shadow intercept.
It's kind of my business.
What did Shadow want to do?
So when Greg said, or when Cleric said, "Did you sell it?" and Greg said, "Maybe," Shadow is going to get upset and attempt to attack Greg, screaming, "You did what with my shit? You better tell me who and where and now."
Roll to directly engage a threat, because he will defend himself. As you're throwing yourself at him.
Danger.
I think you're at a -2 for that as well.
That's a 6.
No. So you launch yourself at him and he immediately just, and you just fall. You get drained almost in an instant. So yeah, Shadow lunges at Greg, like, just furious. And Greg basically just looks at her and she drops to the ground. He's like, well, this isn't turning into a very productive conversation.
Shadow! I'm going to go over and kind of try to give her a little more energy and be like, we got this.
Yeah, you.
She just flips the bird at Greg as she's on the ground, like.
He'll just go like, nah, back at Shadow. He's like, look, the stuff is already out there. You're not gonna get it all back. Sorry, there's sirens. Hang on. Okay, we're good. You're not gonna get it back. It's already being duplicated. It's already being remade. It's just filtering into the system. Which, I mean, I guess that was kind of what was going to happen with it in the long run anyways, but really I was mostly after the collars. And I destroyed most of them, so ruined their prototypes, stole all those blueprints, deleted them out of the systems, and earned a little bit of extra cash. Night Fox, at this time, you're probably being let go to go start heading back home, to see your dying family member. Yeah. So Night Fox is on the way. It's like, so, I mean, whatever happens, happens, I guess. Cleric, if you would like, you can attempt to pierce the mask to see if he's being completely honest with you.
That's a good idea. I was trying to think of what the hell I was gonna do now.
Yeah. So roll plus mundane, and you don't take a minus to that. So go ahead and roll.
I'm actually rolling really good today. 10 total.
Awesome. All right. So you can ask 3 questions. What are you really planning? What do you want me to do? What do you intend to do? How could I get your character to blank? Or how could I gain influence over you?
What do you want me to do?
He wants you to keep your nose out of it and go away. He's not looking for help or assistance in any way. He's just doing great things, and he wants to be left alone to do great things.
I don't feel like that's something I can do. How could I gain influence over you?
I think that after the display of your powers, I think it's safe to say that Greg maybe has a bit more respect for you than he'd like to admit. So displaying that you have masterful control over your powers to him, just like a little bit more, would probably get him to want to get your respect. So.
I'm writing a note. 1 sec.
No worries. I'd say what are you really planning is probably a good one for the last one.
Thank you. I was about to ask. I didn't know what
Yeah.
I was gonna ask. What are you really planning?
Yeah, so you know Greg, and it seems very unlike him to just sell it in any way. Like, he might be acting like, oh, I've got all these powers, I don't need any of that stuff, but like, why go to the effort of stealing it? Like, he has the famous rich doctor for a father, and like, he's definitely not employed. He's not going to school. He's basically a criminal on the run, but he's still managing to afford an apartment and decent food and decent clothes. So obviously he's getting some sort of help from somewhere. So he doesn't need the money. And that's never been much of his motive anyways. He craves power and keeping these things and using them and probably working with somebody that would understand how to make them better and more dangerous and more powerful. So you can probably assume that he hasn't actually gotten rid of it. He's probably stashed it, and he's potentially got somebody else helping him. Because he's not, I mean, he's not stupid, but that's not his area of expertise. To be able to augment and change these weapons, these suits, like everything, and to recreate these blueprints. So that's kind of the conclusion that you come to, is that he didn't actually get rid of it. At least not in the way that he's telling you. So his plan is to use those to make himself more powerful and to probably wreak havoc on the city to get even more power, more to claim, and just become king of the world, basically.
So what I like, my current guess is that if he didn't sell any of it, that it's probably in this apartment.
Or he stashed it somewhere or gave it to somebody else.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's kind of a lot of stuff. Like, it's not like a huge apartment. Like, I mean, it's decent, but it's not ginormous by any means. So it'd be kind of hard to hide all of that. So, do you have an idea of what he's planning, Cleric? What are you going to do with that information? Or what is anybody else doing? Night Fox, you're on the way. You still got a couple minutes before you get there.
My lawful good ass says we should toss him in jail for theft.
Okay. Are you gonna try to, like, convince him to go? Or are you gonna try to take him out? Like, what's your plan there?
If you've really sold the stuff like you said, then I have no choice. I have to take you in. I can't let you leave. So your choices right now are to come in quietly and freely, or we're gonna have to kick your ass again.
He laughs. He's like, you really think you were winning that fight? Well, I'd rather not stick around to find out if we're going to keep doing this. So, bye. And he'll just turn and run.
13. Think you could catch him?
Yes. No,
13. Run.
Yeah. Yes. This will go fine.
Shadow just thinks to herself, it's like, well, at least he's not wearing her suit.
For now.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah, he's running to the parking garage to get in his car and bail.
Alright, I'm lugging it to him.
Okay. Roll to unleash your powers.
What's my label that I had?
It's freak.
Oh, a +1. Oh. Seven.
Okay. So.
Okay. I don't know when DMs go. Okay. Oh,
sorry,
right.
I was just
Good to know.
double checking the. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you didn't have a condition that gave you a -2, which you do not.
Good.
So.
Oh, good.
So you are successful in getting to him. So you catch up and you, like, tackle him to the ground, and then your stomach growls, like, really loud. And he will utilize that to break free and, like, fling open the car door, get it, and shut it, and then like fumble with the keys and start trying to start the car.
Jump in front of the car.
He just backs up. 13's like hanging on to the fucking the hood.
I'm hanging on.
Okay.
I'm hanging on to the.
Yeah,
to
he's
the,
like peeling out of that garage.
Help! I'll shout out help. I'm on a car. Don't know if they can hear me or not, but
I
I'll
mean,
do it
probably
anyway.
not. You're a little ways away.
All right.
Roll to directly engage a threat to see if you manage to hang on to this car.
Do I add anything to it?
It's plus danger. And
It's flat 0.
You're not afraid, so you don't take a minus. Yep.
5.
Nope. He takes a
15. 15.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
15.
word. Yeah.
That's a number you
15.
can get.
Yep.
He
Another
will
word.
rip the steering wheel to the side to fling you off, and you just go bump, 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 bump on the pavement, and he's like flooring it out of there. So Greg
Father.
is Dad. So 13 is just fumbling across.
Do I
the
even know where I
pavement.
am? Because how far did we go before I fell off the car?
2 feet.
You were still in the parking garage, so you're not like
Oh,
far.
okay, I didn't get that far.
Yeah,
I'm
so
now
you
lost in
you
cold.
hit the
there's
ground and you get like you roll into another car and you're just kind of like after hitting the ground. Night Fox, you're about halfway there, and
Jeez, where the hell do I work?
something start. Yeah, I mean far away from from there. This is also all happening in like a handful of minutes. It's not like it's
Right,
been
yeah.
hours or anything. You notice something as this car is peeling, or as not as the car. You're not there.
I'm saying because I'm not going to see it.
Yeah, no. So you notice something as you're driving towards the apartment buildings. There is smoke coming up from the city, and you know the area because that's where the zoo is. So something is
Damn
happening
it.
at the zoo.
Oh, the zoo. Shit. I would like to call Shadow.
Okay.
Shadow will pick up her phone.
Shadow, as you go to answer, you see there is a text back from your father. And it's just it's like, why are you sorry? What happened? Are you okay? Like, it's concerned. And then it says, call me.
She completely ignores that and just calls back Night Fox.
Okay.
Hey, Shadow. You put way too many adjectives in there, so clearly not everything's all right. Also, I'm on my way there. However, there's some smoke coming from the zoo area. You're not at the zoo, are you?
No, we're in Greg's apartment.
I love that everybody's
And-
starting to say Greg the same way, like Greg.
Greg.
And he did something to me. I think it's what Cleric was talking about using the powers to suck stuff. I wasn't paying attention when he was talking. But yeah, it didn't feel great, so yeah, but I knew you were doing stuff, so I didn't want to disturb you. It seemed like 13 had something up his sleeve to kind of make stuff stop, so it was
As 13's
Fine.
laying in the
Nervous
parking
right now.
garage going,
All right. Did you detain Greg?
I think 13's working on it, right?
As you hear tires squealing and you can look out the window and see the car driving away and you're like, well, maybe it's not Greg's.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be there shortly.
Okay.
And I'd like to go faster.
Yeah, in about
Well,
an
you're
hour.
in a taxi, so
I pay him to go faster.
he hands you back the money.
What
You're
kind
you're
of
all
place is this?
you're almost there
I would have
anyways.
kept it, just carried on.
Yeah, he takes it and just keeps going the same speed. No, you get to the apartments in like the next like 5 minutes.
Okay.
13 is like up off the ground, but he's in the parking garage. Like you can kind of see him like leaning on a car, like as his suit's a little bit torn up from skidding across the pavement there.
Okay.
We'll say that Shadow and Cleric have come outside to wait for you since Greg kind of took off and they didn't track him. Because
I have a question.
yes,
Can or could have Shadow break in or destroy Greg's apartment to clear the angry condition?
Yeah. Yeah, you trash Greg's apartment. You like anything that seems like it's remotely important to him, you destroy it. So yeah, go ahead and clear that.
Awesome.
Right. So I get out of my taxi and refuse to tip him because he didn't go faster.
You kind of already did, so he doesn't really care.
He's
Anyway.
like, wow, this is great.
I have with me a to-go container because I took some food, and I have a small box underneath that.
Okay. So what are you guys gonna do?
I'll go over to 13 and see him taking a nap or whatever the hell he's doing. Hey,
It's not quite a nap. I'm in pain.
Yeah,
what are you doing down there?
13's made his way over to you guys, so you're all together
Okay.
again.
All right. Oh,
Is
hey.
Is that blood on your costume or is that ketchup? It's in the pocket area.
It might actually be both. I mean, Greg got away. I tried to stop him. I fumbled. I decided to grab the car, and then try to stop it, and then I realized he could go the other way, and then he did, and I fell, and I'm
Are
here.
there not cars in the future?
Yeah, they weren't really used as much. Like they were like vintage cars, you know, they're sort of collectibles, but don't really use for transport and stuff. Especially if you can like be fast, but you know,
I mean,
Right.
you weren't ever that fast because
I
you
wasn't
had a
ever
collar
fast
on.
anyway. But yeah,
You
sorry.
weren't allowed to use your
Yeah,
powers.
yeah. Whatever makes sense. What I said.
Yep, that tracks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess
I look
let's
at Cleric.
search the apartment for the stuff that was stolen. I don't think he sold it all.
I'll say that Shadow, in your rampage, you didn't find anything.
Well, frick.
There wasn't there. There wasn't anything there.
Shadow's
I might
turning a
have
little
known.
bit southern there.
I'm sorry.
Yay, how?
No, I love it. That was very funny.
So, Cleric, what did I miss? I ask Cleric, and then I pop open the top of the to-go box and I start eating some steak that's in there. Just staring at him.
Well, we
steak.
managed to locate that Greg was living
It smells
in
really good,
in this
13.
apartment. We didn't think he was home because I checked and I didn't see any life force, but when Shadow kicked down the door, there he was, just chilled in the kitchen. So we tried talking to him and that didn't work, and then we tried fighting him and that kind of worked, and apparently Greg is 13's dad, and that was weird. Yeah.
I'm sorry, what? Are you trying to make me drop my food so he just takes it from me?
I think 13 is like slowly inching closer to you, Night Fox, just like drawn in by the smell. Like in cartoons when like the smell hits them and they like lift up in the air and just start following it. That's sort of what's happening to 13.
Perfect. Yeah, apparently in the future, Greg has 13, and then 13. 13. Would you be so kind as to explain to the Night Fox what you told us?
Sure. Still holding my side. So Greg is my dad, I think, or a version of a dad in a version of this time. Yes. That's it.
You think or you know?
I think I'm not. I don't know. The thing is, he's my dad, but he's not my dad. Like, he is a different version of the dad that I know.
Or he just hasn't
Like, it is my
grown
dad.
into the dad that you know. You don't know. Something could happen to totally
Well, yeah,
change the
exactly.
path
Could
that
be
he's
that.
on. So
It's
you,
just something seems
yeah,
a bit off. Just but it is my dad. I just know it's my dad. I just have
yeah.
a feeling.
Okay, let me ask you a very simple question.
No.
13. No.
No questions. No more questions. That's an irrelevant question. That's an irrelevant question.
13's brain is just dead now.
Yeah.
In the future, how old is your father?
I don't know. Out of game, I
Really?
don't know.
How many is like 5 burgers
Well, no, I
plus
should
7
know. I
burgers?
know, but
well,
would I know? I don't know.
so I think you can kind of quickly do the math on it because you jumped back about, I think you said about 19 years.
Yeah.
And your character's probably about 15, 16, so you wouldn't be born until about 3 or 4 years in the future. So you don't even exist yet.
Yeah.
In this time. So
yeah,
potentially somewhere in those years something happens that changes how Greg is at this moment.
Yeah, and like my dad would like mid-30s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shadow's gonna
that one.
Perfect.
Shadow's gonna reach over to 13 and just attempt to side hug awkwardly. Like, you got daddy issues too.
Like, oh, we're bonding. Yeah.
He always light up like.
Yeah, Shadow will just kind of like very stiffly put an arm around you, 13, and then like squeeze, but like it's like too tight and like way too long,
My
and then
wounds.
like let go and go back to being Shadow.
My wounds.
Cleric is just gonna sigh with all this and be like, "All right, Night Fox. We got a little more information out of Greg. He says he's sold all the stuff that he stole from Alpha Daddy. I'm not sure how much I believe, but we know none of it's here. And then he got away. So this has not been the best of days."
Okay, well, let's go to the zoo.
Wait, what?
What?
The zoo's on fire. We have to go to the zoo.
Wait,
I'm
what?
sorry.
Teleport us.
What?
Yeah, Shadow, you can just kind of, because Shadow, I mean, you know what's
Yeah.
at the zoo that's so important, Shadow. So as soon as Night Fox is like, yeah, the zoo's in trouble, yeah, it makes sense for you to just instantly try to teleport everybody. So roll to unleash your powers.
Okay.
Like how the other two were like, "What's going on? What are we doing?" This clearly hasn't resolved anything, and we've lost all our leads. To the zoo.
I do feel like whatever happens today, I feel like we're further away than when we were before.
I feel like regardless if the zoo was having trouble or not, I'd be like, all right, well, can't
To
really
the
follow
zoo?
him now. We got nothing to the zoo.
Is it on fire again? Nope, no, I just want to go to the zoo.
I mean, I feel like we should be talking to Aegis and let him know what we found.
What's your roll there?
should have re-rolled. I rolled a 4. That's total.
Hey.
I rolled a 5, but it's -2, but I have +1 freak, so that goes down to -1. So
So it's a
it's
4.
4.
All right. Well, mark potential. You went up, so that's good. Yeah, you try to teleport everyone, but after all of the life force training, you just like you can't. You can't muster up the power to do it in this moment. So who's calling a taxi, or how are you guys getting to the zoo?
Can we still
Right.
use our service thing? we're technically we think that
I mean-
Greg is at the zoo.
Yeah, you can try to get in contact with the school and have them send somebody. It'll be a few minutes, but they'll get someone there ASAP.
Can we flag down a taxi? Is the taxi Batguin, Night Fox, Canyon still here?
That one took off, but you could probably find another one pretty easily. So you wave somebody down and all pile in to the taxi. They will drive you to the zoo. So when you arrive at the zoo, there is still smoke rising, but it doesn't look like the entire zoo is like on fire or anything. However, as you guys get out of the taxi, you hear boom, boom, boom. And coming up into view is a giant mechanical penguin.
Well, that's not good.
What?
Well, this
And
is
it will
kinda interesting.
turn, and its eyes flash bright red as it starts to charge up a laser to fire at all of you. And that's where we're gonna end.
Giant penguin.
Yep.
Is the penguin on fire or is the zoo on fire?
No, he just busted this thing out of his enclosure.
Alright.
So that's where all the ruckus is coming from.
I'm
So
impressed.
Damn.
Okay.
we'll see next time if you guys manage to avoid the giant penguin death laser.
I'm gonna say watch and see.
You guys are gonna have to, because that's
Well, we don't
where
have
we're gonna
to.
end it.
We
I
don't
mean,
have to.
we could just never pick this up again and just leave in total cliffhanger moment of whether or not you guys are gonna get incinerated. But you know, that's fine. we can do that too.
If you don't want to see the Masks team incinerated by a giant penguin, make sure you visit your penguins at the zoo today.
Make
Almost
sure
every
to
every
day
day.
become robots.
yes, every day. Yeah, so you might have a bit of an idea of where some of the technology that Greg was working with went.
I have no idea. I mean, this is definitely just regular penguin tech. So
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, it's been outfitted with some unique things that were definitely taken from Alpha Industries.
oh, you mean the tungsten screws?
Yeah, the
Just
heavy
the,
duty.
just the hardware.
Yeah, the hardware for sure. All right. Well, that was episode 1 of issue 2 of our Masks Clockwork edition. We're gonna go around and do our round robin of saying who we are, where we can find you guys, and if you're doing anything cool in the next little bit, because we're not quite sure when we're gonna pick this up again, but hopefully it's soon. So
Time
we're gonna
zones,
pick
yay.
on Sin this time. We're gonna start with you.
Hi, I'm Sin or Potato9_juice on Twitch. You can find me hanging out with Tough because I'm a mod for Tough, or lurking in Warwick's Twitch when he streams, or sleeping in Juice's streams when he streams, because apparently I sleep a lot in their streams. It's fine. I have Instagram by other names. It's r_not_art and r_not_comics. I have Twitter by that name too. It's cool. Yeah.
Awesome. Hatter.
You can find me hanging out in Tough Stream a lot, even though I'm not a mod. I'm hoping to work my way up to that someday. Also hang out in Warwick's chat a lot, and occasionally in Night Fox's whenever he's live. You can catch me in Tuff's Discord, and yeah. Oh, and Jessie Bessie's stream. Because she's my wife, and I feel like I gotta shout her out just a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They'll all come together like clockwork now.
Hey.
That's all, yeah. Uh-huh.
Good save.
Warwick.
Oh, hello. So yeah, I'm WarwickZero, and I do the Twitch thing. I stream Mondays, Thursdays, or Fridays, and Saturdays. You also find me on Tuff's channel. Shout myself out because I have my own command, which I made, and I have no shame whatsoever, and it's great. But yeah, you can find me there. You can find me other people's streams and stuff, hanging out in Discords. I do have a very exciting stream coming up Saturday. Yeah, this Saturday because it's Sunday today. I will be doing my Jill Valentine cosplay stream this Saturday. So I'm just as Jill Valentine from the first Resident Evil with the whole beret and shoulder pads and everything else. I've got everything made and it's looking pretty damn good. So that's on Saturday. If people want to check it out. Yes, Jesse, I'm doing the whole classic Resident Evil dress up and I made it all. It was a sub goal and I've got the beret, got the big shoulder pads and yeah, and it's going to look good. I can't wait.
Hell yeah.
And also, what's funny is some of them was gone. So we're going to continue the whole Jill Valentine thing. I was like, we could do. And then I looked at the other costumes that Jill wears, and they get a lot more interesting as the series goes on.
Interesting is a good word.
Yeah.
Yeah. Badwin knows.
Yeah.
So hey, you may see that. But yeah, no, you know from me now doing all sorts, and obviously on Tush channel. And yeah.
All right, Beckwin.
Yeah, I'm the Batguin. I also do the Twitch thing. I stream kind of at night though, when everyone's asleep or about to go to sleep. So yeah, it's kind of lonely doing that. But I am gonna start streaming a little bit more regularly on Wednesday morning afternoons. And I don't have anything big like any cosplay things going on. Too much. I'm going to try to arrange possibly some time to do some more Shards of Darkness in February.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna push all the buttons.
God damn it.
Dude, I miss Hoffley. I love Hoffley. He's my boy. Ray's there too, but I mean, come on. Hoffley's the real star of the show.
Yes.
But I'll have to see how many people want to return for that.
Yes.
I mean, I have 6 candidates, so.
Yeah. I'm down. For sure.
I was like, I'm there.
I don't even care if it's just me.
I was like, you know
I'll
what?
be there
You're on my
with
channel. I'm here.
I'm in it. Let's do it. All right. Well, since you all are here, so obviously you at least kind of know who I am. But I'm 98 Tough Love. I'm a variety streamer here on Twitch. I play lots of games, and I'm trying to do a few more TTRPGs because it's really fun. Still kind of just getting into the flow of GMing things. This system is a little bit unique in the narrative power that it has. So I really like it for that purpose. And I will be streaming again tomorrow at 12 o'clock noon my time, which is about 3 hours and 15 minutes before now. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing.
There's events there. The events
Yeah,
are in
there's
local times.
events.
When you look at the
'Cause
events,
Warwick does
it will show you a time. For me, it says 8 o'clock. Obviously, that is not. Is that midday for you, Tuff?
Yep. Yeah, you're 8 hours ahead of me.
Hey, 8 hours. God. So yeah, check out the events in the Discord, in Tuff's Discord.
Yeah.
Do it.
Warwick did goo. As I yelled
Let's
at
do
him drunkenly last night.
Yeah,
in the
what was
DMs.
I read that.
I
I was asleep.
was
Let me read it. What?
very
All in
intoxicated.
caps. All in
Yep.
caps. Vent looks good for times you do goo. Thank you.
Yep.
Not good. Not good. Goo.
Yep.
And I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
I was mildly intoxicated. Yes, 3 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I have my schedule up in the Discord, so I'm trying to do my best to be a bit more on top of streaming. But if you guys would like to see more TTRPGs, hopefully next Sunday, I will be continuing Masks over on the C+ content channel where I am a player. I play Spectre. If you guys want to catch up with those, there is a YouTube channel that has all of those on it. And if you want to catch up with Masks Clockwork, if you haven't seen the other 2 episodes, they are also up on YouTube. So you can check those out. I should probably make a link for that, but it's fine.
Yeah, right. Excellent. There's to Twitch anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, there's C+ content. And I will also be doing the Avatar TTRPG with Sin over here next Thursday. Not coming up Thursday, but the Thursday after this Thursday. The 20th.
2 Thursdays.
Yes, 2 Thursdays.
Hype.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be good. And I think that's about it for that
I want to do. When's the
stuff.
alien one happening? Sorry, I know it's completely changed the subject.
When's
the alien one happening?
We don't have a 4th.
No, we do.
Are we still waiting for?
No,
We had a fourth.
we have a 4th. Chev signed
we?
up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just
Wow.
waiting for scheduling. I think there's been some
That's
scheduling
fair.
issues with everything, so
That's
we'll
fair.
see
Well, I live in
the
the other
future.
side of the world, so you know what I'm like with scheduling.
I know, between you and Raichi, it's such a pain in the ass to figure out when we're gonna do things.
I did not choose where to be born. Okay, all right.
I mean, it's also it sucks because I'm in like the farthest possible time zone away from you, so that makes it even more
It's your fault.
difficult. Yeah, sure, it's my fault. Just blame me.
I
It's Twitch's fault.
Well, I like my NHS too much. Sorry, Hatter. Once it gets sold to privately sold, then I'll come to
That's
US.
fair. I was gonna do. Oh, we need to do the end of session questions.
Oh yes.
So,
yes.
Sin, we'll just start with you again. Shadow, do you think you grew closer to the team? Do you think you grew into your own image of yourself, or do you think you grew away from the team?
I think I grew slightly closer to the team.
Okay.
Probably
Daddy
closer.
issues.
Yeah, probably closer to the Night Fox and 13 rather than Cleric, but
Okay, which one of the 2 of them would you say made you feel more welcome?
probably the Night Fox.
Okay. So if Night Fox, if you don't already have influence over Shadow, take influence over Shadow. And you are welcome to clear a condition, Shadow, or mark potential, but I think, clearing a condition might be a good idea because you guys still have a lot of them.
Yeah, I'm going to clear Hopeless.
Cool.
We get you that idea, Tuff.
What?
Cleric's fine. Don't look at me or Shadow.
Yeah. Cleric, do you think you grew closer to the team, grew into your own image of yourself, or did you feel like you grew away from the team?
I almost started talking without pushing the push to talk button. That would have been interesting. I think I grew more in my image of myself.
Okay. So how are you starting to see yourself, and what happened this episode that made you feel that way?
I mean, this whole episode was going against my nemesis. But it definitely seems like I'm not as lawful as I thought. Like, I was okay with putting things off if we could get some answers now. So maybe Greg didn't have to go to jail as long as we could get the stuff for Shadow's dad.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna shift 1 label up and 1 label down. I think with what you've said, it would make sense to shift either danger or superior up. I'd lean a bit more towards danger, since you've kind of been wielding your powers a bit in a way that maybe you wouldn't normally beforehand.
True.
And then I would probably say that you would move mundane or savior down.
I think I'm going to move danger up and mundane down.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. 13. Did you feel like you grew closer to the team, grew more into the image of yourself, or grew away from the team?
No, I feel like I grew closer to the team overall, I think.
Okay. Who do you think made you feel the most welcome?
Most welcome. I will go with Shadow, I think. Maybe because I got the end. Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense. All right, Shadow, if you do not already have influence over 13, go ahead and take that. And then 13, I would probably clear a condition, but you could mark potential instead if you want to.
You know what? Let's do it. Let's clear up. Let's not clear. Let's potential.
Then you can take another move, or so you're going up. Awesome.
I'll have to think about stuff.
You'll have to just check your playbook and see what options you have. So you can open up your moment, you can take another move from your playbook, you can permanently shift a label up, and cause someone to lose influence over you. There's plenty of options there.
Am I able to decide for next session?
I mean, yeah, you can take the time between now and next session to decide. Shadow also needs to decide what she wants to do with hers.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right. And the Night Fox. How are you feeling about this whole thing? Closer to the team, more into the image of yourself, farther from the team?
She's feeling more into the image of herself.
Okay. Why is that? And how is
She's
she
trying
seeing
to
herself?
balance everything.
Yeah.
So she's trying to balance non-superhero and superhero stuff.
Yeah.
And it's, before it's just like, okay, she doesn't have time to go to this class, so that's fine. She'll make it up later. But this is now an actual adventure or, problem that's affecting the world, and she also has to go to work.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Yeah, that makes total sense. So feel free to shift one label up and another down. I think shifting, your mundane's already pretty high, but shifting your mundane up would make sense. Or your savior, that would also make sense. And then you can choose whichever one to shift down.
Right. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, though, that's the end of session. I will keep y'all posted on when the next session is going to happen. Hopefully it'll be sometime this month or beginning of February, but we will have to wait and see what schedules allow.
We will do our very best, though.
Yes.
Because this is a lot of fun, and yeah, you are a very good DM, and we appreciate you.
Thanks.
I speak for everyone, apparently.
Yeah, nobody else says anything. It's fine.
No.
Fine.
I didn't want to talk over Warwick.
Everybody talks over Warwick.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point.
Warwick spends all of his time talking. At some point, you just have to talk over him. That's...
Hey. This isn't my stream now, right? Jeez.
That's the only time that we as chatters are ever going to be able to speak over him. That's,
Oh, wow.
Love you, Warwick.
That's a good point, Tough. I'll remember that. I think he even talked over me during my stream. Oh, no, he didn't. He's right. No, he was staring at Claire's ass.
Nice.
Yes, I was.
Nice.
Yes, I was.
Very good. But yeah, thank you guys for playing. Thank you for so many awesome role-playing moments. It's really fun to see all these characters starting to come into themselves. And nice comical moments and good tension and everything else. So thank you guys. And we will discuss when the next session is happening sometime in the near future. I'm sure Warwick probably needs to go to bed. And if Warwick isn't planning on going to bed, Warwick needs to go to bed. So he better go to
Yeah,
bed.
there's a
Wiki.
difference. When I should go to bed, when I was like, Warwick, you need to go to bed.
Yeah. So we are gonna go raid somebody. Let's go say hi to Hellheth the Fury.
Yeah.
Woo, hell.
Make sure I spell it right. Thank
time.
you.
Yeah, that's
for
right.
doing the raid calls. Hell is wonderful. She's very beautiful. She's very soft. Like, her voice is just wonderful. I could listen to Hell talk all day. And I've played a TTRPG with Hell. She DM'd it. It was the 10 Candles.
That was so good.
Oh, that one was so good. I want to
Oh my
look into
God, it was
getting
so
10
good.
Candles. That was so fun.
That was really interesting, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's a really cool concept. So maybe we'll see about running that at some point. But we're gonna do this first because that's. I'm not like Michael where I can just manage 5,000 of them
I
all at
don't
the
know
same
how
time.
he does it.
I don't fucking know
Don't know
either,
how he does
man.
it.
It's insanity. But anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow, 12 o'clock noon, over here. Me right now, not right now, in some
Not right now.
21
I mean,
hours
right now in 21 hours.
Yes.
Hi.
We're gonna stay here.
Look,
And
it's fine. I was only a little hungover this morning. But yeah, have a great night, guys. Thank you all for being here, and I love you all very much. Bye.
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 Bye.